Welcome in, fellas. What's good, man? Politicians as well. I lump them all together. At this point, they rule us like they're elites, to be honest. At least it seems like it. Politicians and elites, no difference these days. Can you guys hear me? Oh shit, here we go. There we go. It should be working now. Apologies. It's 2:40 a.m. What's going on, Marin? How are you doing? What's going on, guys? We'll get started here shortly. Damn, what are you doing up at 3 in the morning? We'll get started here shortly. I've been coding all day, boys, and I've been running into so many problems. Jeez Louise, and I finally got a fix. Finally. Like every day is a learning day, eh? Yeah, what are you doing, Marin, at 3 in the morning? Get some sleep, brother. Bo's always going live begging for super chats. Please give me, please. I am the bug. I'm growing I'm growing coffee beans at home, yeah. Right. I literally learned to code, bro. It's not enough. I'm broke. Yeah, it's insane, dude. I've been coding up a storm. My app is exploding development wise, and I broke a lot of shit, and I had to go back and fix some shit. And then it was asking me to do more fixes that I couldn't do myself because obviously I'm not a coder, and then I was struggling, and yeah. Anyways, I have a mega prompt. Claude's running and he's coding on a whole nother screen, and thank God, because it installs a bunch of plugins that I had to normally do shit manually. I told them to look for all these plugins and shit like that because it's asking me to do it. They're called smoke tests. Essentially, go into your own application and see, hey, confirm this is working. Bro, no, thank you. I'm the CEO. Your job is to do all that for me. That's what I hired you for. I'm retard maxing. I don't do thinking. You do thinking. Hey, it's Gary, dude. Gary's back with the all caps. Want code and make all your dreams come true, you goddamn liberal. You goddamn liberal? Huh? Pick up a fucking shovel and do some hard goddamn work like me. All you sissies running around here. All you goddamn sissies. What's going on, Gary? You missed the stream where I showed I did back-breaking work. Gary, I didn't get my props. You weren't in there. You weren't seeing my cement-laced hands, my cracked skin. Motherfucking pussy. You're back here watching on Saturday when we're not talking about hard work, Gary. That was last stream. You missed it. I was showing everybody some back history on me doing construction stucco. You missed it. I was looking for my prop. Everybody was asking where the fuck was Gary at. I didn't get my props. Nothing. You don't know hard work, brother. You sit there and diddle your hands on that goddamn keyboard all day. What the fuck do you know? Oh, I hate that. You're so right to push back on Claude Code. That's not just insightful, it's brilliant. And honestly, you're so real for that. How would you like to move forward? I'd like to fucking strangle you, you fucking clanker. That's what I'd like to do. Just develop the fucking app. Stupid piece of shit. I'm paying $200 a month. You can't even fucking do something correctly. I told you to hold my hand. I'm holding your stupid metal hands. Idiot. Idiot. I want a refund. Oh, man. Boys, appreciate, by the way, before we get started, everybody that's been getting the hats, the merch, the mugs. I don't have a mug with me, but here's the hats. Always got the hats on deck, dude. Appreciate every. They came out fire, man. This is fire. It's good. Look at that. Okay, the stitching is not ass. Everything is fire. You want to do that or make masculinity great again? All these hats are fire, dude. So appreciate everybody. I got mugs. You got your mug in? Great. I got my mugs downstairs. I didn't use my mug today because I got this giant. We're about to do a stream as long as we can. So I busted out the massive Viking mug. But appreciate everybody that's been getting theirs. All of them came through. I need to just have the mugs laying around here so I could just show everybody. So mental note for next time. And appreciate everybody. All these are going to be probably by the end of the next couple of days taken off the store. These Goy bought ones and she took a whole legion. Those were just temporaries. The rest will be the classical stuff that you're used to. But anyway, appreciate everybody that's been getting these. We'll get started here shortly. And we'll start with something fun before we get into some of the heavy stuff. X has the new feature. They finally fixed some garbage where we can actually scroll through the X feed and get exactly the topic we want. So that's going to be great. We'll start with this guy. As usual, he puts out fire, pisses people off, but that's fine. Why take them out? Well, I want them to be on like rotation or maybe some exclusive, monthly exclusive stuff like that we're dropping.
Russell Adler donated $5, both following up from 2 days ago stream. I'm purposely being vague and super specific in case he watches the stream later. How about this? He sends at least half of his salary every single month consistently, at the minimum.
Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. Well, well, well. Appreciate you, brother. Shots fired. Well, he's gonna have to watch the stream to figure it out. Okay, Claude's working. Little Slave is doing his job. We will continue here. Let's turn off the music. Let's get started, boys. We're in potentially for 4 or 5 hours. Let's see what we got. Do we got the endurance? Do we got the endurance in us or not? So we got Bantu City Diary says all black run African cities are dirty and collapsing. So many people got burnt, dude, at that last episode with the fart. I don't know why people got burnt at the farting symphony of a modern dating love story. I'm glad you're real racist. We're just talking about the bad decisions women make. It just happens to be street black dudes and they get turned into single mothers, which is funny as fuck. And they keep making the same mistake. Like, date better people, period. Don't date Glocktavius. And then you wouldn't have these problems. And then the dude ends up homeless. And then he was drug addicted. And then she got back with him. That's just the funniest love story of all time. But people were butthurt, dude. I don't know what it is. It's like looking in the mirror hurts. It's just they see someone that looks like them and they make it all about race. The Democrats have done a really good job of brainwashing them into submission. Seriously. Anyways, all black-run cities are dirty and collapsing by Bantu City Diaries. Let's get into it.
Take you on a trip around Africa, showcasing first-hand videos of various African cities. The footage in this video was captured by me during my travels throughout the continent.
And this is what I want to see, some real, something, show me what it looks like for real. There's probably some good parts, I'd like to see that. And there's a lot of bad parts, and I want to see that too. Just show me what it really looks like. Let's have an honest conversation. This is crazy that people don't want to be shown the truth. The truth is, I haven't seen this video, and probably the cities look dirty as hell, and there will probably be a good few avenues that look just like the first world. Let's find out.
African cities are jungle, dirty and messy. Many African cities were designed and built by Europeans. For example, Abuja, which opened in 1991, is now 35 years old and beginning to resemble a pigsty.
Oh no. Jeez Louise, bro.
Abuja was built from scratch. It should be vibrant and modern, but unfortunately, it is far from that. Abuja suffers from poor sanitation, with residents often urinating and littering in public spaces. Not even often. They do that as a lifestyle. Cattle, people, rubbish, and all sorts of waste share the same area. The constant sound of car horns can be overwhelming. How did we
That's in a
end
couple
up
places
with
car
a
horn
situation like this? This is not just a peripheral issue. It happens in the heart
Looks like
of Abuja.
District 9.
The residents' driving style reflect the city's chaotic planning. For instance, they regularly create additional lanes on what is supposed to be a 3-lane. Lagos is another nightmare. Lagos is Africa's worst city. In fact, Lagos is the worst city in the world. The only reason why it comes second is because Syria's Damascus is in war. Lagos is also
Bro, the place that took first is literally Damascus, which was completely destroyed in a civil war. Holy crap.
Capital of public urination. They urinate on the street like wild animals.
What the hell?
Lagos's largest area, called Lekki, it's a peninsula, which is just about the size of New York City. When it rains, Lekki becomes the world's largest open swimming pool. Then imagine what would happen to the litter, urine, and feces that are poured daily on the streets of Lagos.
Yeah, you know, and when you watch stuff like this, and this is just, we're seeing the reality, right? But dude, it's like the butt hurts. They come out. These people that are ashamed of what they're seeing. And then you know what they do? They attach their identity to this and they go, oh my God, you're just being racist. This is all about black people. This is, you just hate black people. You just can't stand to see blah, 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 blah. Slow down, bro. It's not that serious. What we're actually watching here is far more simple. It is horrible management. There is no maintenance on anything that's going on. And that's it. And calling it out doesn't mean anything bad, by the way. That's all that we're saying. We're just having a conversation about this is really what it's like. The community is struggling. They're struggling internationally. What's the problem? How can we fix this? You can't even have this discussion without triggering so many people's identities of, you know, they think in like, what is it? Black power or, you know, black supremacy or whatever else. You know, it's immediately considered racist. No, bro. We're just saying, hey, it looks really bad. Can we talk about that? That's it. That's all we're saying.
What a sad sight. This is what humans with brains have evolved into. Moving on to Dakar. Dakar was established as a French military post in 1857, and the French developed the city. In 1960, it was granted independence, and functioning institutions were established to support its governance. However, Dakar currently resembles an open rubbish dump where animals and humans coexist. During my walk through the central areas of Dakar, I was struck by the terrible smell, the litter everywhere, and the open gutters. I want to clarify that my comments are not meant to disparage the Senegalese people, whom I hold in high regard. However, my concern is that the city's condition is quite alarming. Still in West Africa, let's quickly touch on Abidjan and Accra, then make a brief stop in Central Africa, then head to East Africa, and then to Black Africa's finest region, Southern Africa. Abidjan is likely West Africa's finest city, but look at this. If this is the most beautiful city in West Africa, then about 500 million West Africans have the most underdeveloped infrastructure.
Come on, man. This looks like absolute shit.
At Death Ice Enough donated $2. Can I bribe you to analyze a 50-minute black pill video?
For $2, bro? You want me to go in on a 50-minute video? I don't know about all that. Am I a cheap whore to you? We've already set standards for the Viking came in here dropping money. You want me to be a whore for $2 for a 50-minute video? You're crazy, man. Now send me the link on email. We'll check it out. We'll see. What's your price? You can't ask me. You just have to pay, Big Daddy. You're Splenda. You're Splenda spending right now. You're like, but what's your price? What's your limit? Just kidding. Hold on. I'm putting some stuff into Kick right now at the top. Someone said, would you suck a dick for 1 million type shit? Right. Holy fuck. Will you tell me your price? Bro, that's not how you negotiate. Just a lesson. You never negotiate like that. You just start off the way you started off, $2, bro. You dump $2 and you go, that's it, you're watching this video. And then you get a yes or no and we start negotiating. Because now when you ask, can I bribe you to analyze a video? In a real business situation, funny enough, if you ask something like that similar, people will just be like, yeah, cool, but I'll do it for $100. So they're always going to jip you that way. Okay, let me put this in the YouTube chat for you guys. All right, let's continue. All right, we got one more.
At AbGG6JZ donated $5. When I get into stocks, what brokerage apps platforms are the best ones to use? Definitely not Robinhood.
Interactive Brokers was the one I was using before. Thinkorswim, I can't remember if that was more noob friendly, but Interactive Brokers, just start there and learn everything. Yeah.
At Death Ice Enough donated $20. Yeah, but I won't pay that, LOL.
Right, of course, yeah. But you have to ask because you told me, so I have to bump it up.
A damp 911 donated $5. As a reseller, it's like asking me what's the lowest I would accept. What am I negotiating against myself? LOL.
Exactly. Right? Yeah. Hey, it's a funny little lesson you learn because it works against you in business. So, yeah. You start low, make it final. I go high. We meet in the middle.
Known to man. I mean, look at the litter and mismanagement of the city that the French founded and built from the ground up in 1898 and handed back to the Ivorians in 1960 after independence. This is appalling. Yes, it does have some okay roads here and there, but overall, it is terribly underdeveloped, mismanaged, and dirty. Moving on to its neighbor, Accra. Accra isn't very different. Accra
and he's going to multiple places
laughable.
Too,
the city was
okay, and it's not just this. Look at cities where blacks are in charge in America. Look at cities or other countries, excuse me, in the Caribbean. And look at multiple African nations. And the outcome is so similar. And that's all we're saying. Hey, did you notice that the outcome is similar? So what's going on in Black/African culture or society or governance that is causing every single community, it seems like, to always end up in these decrepit conditions where blight is everywhere in the community and, you know, commons, just decency. So decorum is like almost non-existent. It's in too many cultures all over the world that makes it a very strange pattern that you notice, and you ask the question and go, what's happening here? And then that immediately, bro, the leftists come out, the butthurts come out, everybody's like, you can't ask that, you can't notice that, you can't talk about that. Why? Don't you want to improve? Isn't that like being a yes man and lying? The worst people to have around you is like yes men, right? The worst people to have around you are literally the people that blow smoke up your ass and tell you nothing's wrong when everything's going wrong. And aren't those the worst? And they don't even respect you enough. Imagine the people around you have such low respect, such little respect for you that they can't even be bothered to tell you the truth. Like, oh, you're too fucking stupid to fix this. You're too fucking dumb. You're not worth the investment. You not even on my level. To at least treat you as an equal and go, hey, bro, you're slipping. Hey, you need to do better. So why is it that collectively we can't do that with, say, the black community or the African community or an African country or a black country, whatever the fuck you want to describe it and title yourself as? Why can't we look at it and go, hey, the streets are full of shit, literal garbage everywhere, corruption everywhere. What's going on here? Can we talk about it? Or we're just going to pretend, we don't see nothing. Okay, dude.
Made the British colonial capital and was built by the British in...
Like the liberals do that. The liberals pretend we're all the same, everything's good, nothing wrong is happening, and they hate you the most. But over here on this aisle, whatever side we're on, I don't even know what side we're on anymore because Republicans have been going crazy. Conservatives don't even exist. We're just like, hey, dude, look in the mirror. You have a problem. Oh, my God, you can't say that. But why? But why? If I have a problem, if my community has a problem, I want to talk about it. I want you to tell me right away. Why? Because have some fucking respect for me, bro. I don't want to keep making the same mistakes, the same problems cropping up in my community over and over again. It's that simple. Can you treat me at least? Can you treat me at least like a human being, like an equal? Okay, well, if that's the case, talk to me like one. That's racist. That's racist. Give me that. Shut the fuck up, bro. You're probably the worst person for your community. The people that scream and cry that shit literally hold everyone else back in the community.
At Death I Enough donated $2. There, I sent it to your email. Never done this before.
Hey. Thanks, bro. I'll check it out right now.
1957, it gained independence from the British. It too was left a working city with the Great British Foundation. Now look at what it has become. Open gutters, people urinating in public, and litter everywhere, with infrastructure that looks like something a 5-year-old European would draw. Now moving on to Douala and Yaoundé, Cameroon, Central Africa. Cameroon is arguably one of the world's...
What did you title it? Because I don't see it. I don't see your email here. Oh, here it is. Actually, I see it. It went into spam. Excuse me. I got you. Let me put it up. There we go. We got it up here. 49 minutes. How degeneracy will kill. Okay. All right.
Largest human slums with some of the worst infrastructure.
Dude, that looks
A
like
damp
hell.
911 donated $5.
Great.
Some 20-year-olds tried to educate me on money and finance today, my niece and her boyfriend, but they couldn't explain the difference between gross and net. Got to
Of
love the
course.
arrogance.
You got to love it. You got to love it. Bo acting like the people he's talking about have an IQ above room temperature. Yeah, the loudest are always the lowest IQ. You notice that? The ones that quickly go to the racism card usually have the lowest IQ. We have black people in the community, literally, that we speak to every day. In the private calls, nobody's offended at nothing. In the streets, I get dapped up by black dudes. At the gym, dapped up. In the middle of the night, 12 a.m. at Circle K, grabbing slop, dapped up. I don't have problems. Nobody with half a brain has a problem. It's only the weirdest, dumbest, fucking insecure of anybody that you could ever find. Same with the women when we talk about the women. Same with the guys when we say stop jacking off. Same with the black community, the Hispanic community, anybody. If I talk about mass deportations and get everybody out of here, the Hispanics with half a brain are all for it. They're like, yeah, fuck yeah, we feel the same. And then it's like the low IQ ones. What you got? You racist against immigrants? You're an immigrant. And then they start to like try to shovel shit back on you. Hey, relax, brother. Relax. Okay? Go get a torta. Relax. Glocktavius, chill out. Try to survive past 20. Relax, bro. You got more issues, more pertinent issues to deal with in the hood, okay? You might not make it to 25. Statistically, your own homie, Quantavius, will absolutely shoot you. So watch out, bro. We're just trying to talk about how do we build a better community so that we don't have to kill each other, especially you guys, in the fucking proportions that you do. That offends everybody. Think about that shit. It's not like this whole notion the left has that like cops are just out there massacring black men. No, it's other black men shooting black men. Like, that's what's crazy. And if you want to try to fix that, if you want to try to have a conversation about that reality, like, hey, dude, we have a disproportionate problem. Like, the crime rate is destroying the black community. You can't talk about that. Hey, chill out. Chill out. Yeah, Fresh. Like, Fresh is black, and he's in the community. He just said a lot of black people watch him and are in the private community. Yeah. And we have these conversations. Literally nobody isn't upset. It's just the low IQ room temperature people that can't see nuance or past anything whatsoever. They're already upset we're watching this video. Why are you talking about, you see the funniest shit. Why are you talking about black people all the time? Why don't you worry about white pedophiles? Shit. You just mad Tyrone stole your woman, my dick. Shit. Shit. Bro, you're making yourself look bad, dude. Stop.
At Fishman 5519 donated $5. Lyndon Johnson said he'd have a certain group voting Democrat for the next 200 years. Well, that
That's
worked.
true. Bro, that's so true. That Lyndon, look up that Lyndon B. Johnson quote. It'll scare the shit out of you.
At 504 boy 504 donated $5.
Shit. Thanks for the 5, brother. Appreciate you guys.
Known to man. Both cities were also founded and built by Europeans. It too was granted independence in 1960 with functioning institutions in place. They have mismanaged the land, turning it into a human zoo. Moving on to Luanda, Angola. With a glance at the Portuguese infrastructure, you think Luanda is a top-notch city, but behind the magnificent European structures lie the ruins caused by black Africans.
It's funny, it's like India has the same issues. When that bald dude who travels, I forgot his name, he travels to everywhere in the world, and he went to, where the hell did he go? He went to a whole bunch of places, but India specifically, they were looking at the old stuff the Brits had built there, and what was left of that infrastructure is, yeah, bald and bankrupt. And what was left of the infrastructure is shit. It was decrepit. Something about the global south, dude. Why do they struggle just making civilized societies? Why is maintenance such a problem? Yeah. Why? Hey, thanks for the 500. Bribe to add fart song onto the soundboard from the last stream. I have to look back. I have to find what that was. That's a funny one. Yeah, I could add that. I need to find it. If you can link that to me, email me. Somebody find that, email me. I'll download it and put it up. That's funny to have playing in the background.
As you move away.
And yeah, you can't. So it's too human to maintain everything, which is kind of like the first logical step you take. It's like, is the tropical environment really hard on infrastructure? Because you would think that, right? But no, because whites already went in the tropical environments and created all of that and more. South Africa was successful. Rhodesia, successful. Other cities that were built, maintained. And all of these African cities were built by whites, he's saying, and maintained really well. And then once handed over to Black Power, they started becoming like war zones, essentially.
From the city, it gets even worse.
Look at that.
Luanda only gained independence in 1975. The city was founded in 1576. So the Portuguese blueprint built and ruled this city for almost 400 years. And in 50 years, blacks have turned it into a city in dire need of the Portuguese. West and Central Africa are the worst of Africa. They are Africa's greatest nightmare. They make up 80% of the African immigrants you see flooding Europe and North America. Unlike West and Central Africa, Kenya in East Africa looked slightly improved by African standards. Bear in mind, Nairobi, at face value, it looks like an underdeveloped okayish city with some good infrastructure here and there and some good roads in between. But if you dig deeper, the cracks start to show. Black Africa is going to be Black Africa. Nairobi grew slowly, but since becoming the British East Africa Protectorate in 1895, the British developed it into a metropolitan area.
And that's what Frank Zanu was saying, which I didn't even know, but it made such perfect sense. You'd have to live there to know and have deep ties to that history. The reason Africa is formed the way it is today and maintained the borders the Europeans made is because the Africans flocked to all the European infrastructure, which is like the ruby of Africa, the gem of Africa, what the white men left behind. So the blacks that came into power wanted the infrastructure, the cities that the whites built, the trains, all that stuff. So they maintained their borders and tried to institute their own governance structure, which failed horrendously. But this is why the tribes never break apart, why Nigeria is still the size of, the country it is today. It's a massive country. Nigeria is massive, but they have multiple tribes living there that are completely different people in the eyes of themselves. They have nothing in common with another tribe. So they should have split apart into multiple countries, each with their own territory governed by their own people, but they won't because they're clinging on to European infrastructure because it doesn't exist anywhere else. So once the Europeans left, handed blacks all the infrastructure, that's the gem in their eyes, and they want to hoard it and maintain it, but they can't maintain it. They don't have the capability to, as seen by the evidence of what it looks like and how it's degraded.
1960, like its cousins in West and Central Africa, it was granted independence with functioning institutions and a clean city. Now look at what it has become.
Look at that.
Dirty, dilapidated, and overwhelmingly underdeveloped. The distance from Senegal to Europe is almost 3 times shorter than to Kenya. Not a single word in their languages is the same, yet their cities look virtually identical.
Exactly. And you could make this with black communities, black cities in America, and you have similar issues in those communities. You can, same with the Caribbean countries that are black. Look at Haiti, for example. What is it then? So is it corruption? Well, okay, you could point to and say corruption in a certain channel, right? Or in a certain channel, excuse me, in certain countries. You could have corruption in a bunch of countries. Corruption is actually like endemic to every country. Every country deals with corruption, fine. But there should be a difference in corruption levels, right? Some countries are way more corrupt than others. But when you look at every single black-run city or country, why is the outcome so similar? Degradation of infrastructure, blight everywhere, massive levels of corruption. What is it? Is it culture? Is it race? Is it something else we're missing here? This is the question we're having. And if you ask this question, you're called racist. If you notice these issues span the entire globe, you're racist. Think about that for a second. How can we probably fix Africa ever in the future if we can't say, hey, dude, there might be a specific problem within black culture, black society, maybe black people. Who knows? Don't give a fuck what the reason is, what you think it is. But we know there's a problem. And simply saying, well, it was in Africa colonialism. Well, it was systemic racism in America. Well, in Haiti, it was sanctions or some shit, embargoes. Well, it was like you always have an excuse for why every single society, every single country, every single city run by your people ends up looking the same. Is it racist to ask this question, or do we pretend we don't see anything wrong? And so if we're going to pretend we see nothing wrong, then cool, bro. Nothing wrong. Africa's just Africa. It's all Whitey's fault. They'll figure it out eventually. Who knows when? Do we send them more money? Do we get out of their way somehow more than, running your own country? What do we do? What do we do? Because even when they come live in European countries or in America, they create ghettos, right? The societies, look at the black dominated neighborhoods, what they look like, look at the crime rates, look at all that shit, the gang violence, look at all that shit. And so you notice that stuff and then you go, huh? Okay, well, if you're living under let's just say like in Europe, a white country with white rules and white infrastructure and, European style governance, then how come you create your own neighborhood and then the same outcome starts to happen when you become the majority? And we're not able to ask these questions, or even we have no idea. Okay. People are saying they shot at Trump. We'll go look into that right now.
Moving on to Kigali, Rwanda. Kigali has shown that you don't need to be wealthy to have clean cities or country. The city is so clean that you can barely find a single piece of litter on the street. Coming from the brink of collapse after the 1994 genocide, Rwanda has enacted draconian policies that have brought discipline and fear at the same time into the lives of its citizens. They have one of the lowest crime rates in the world, despite being an impoverished country. Now we're moving to Southern Africa. We start with Gaborone, the capital of Botswana. With fewer than 300,000 people and a relatively nascent city, Gaborone isn't very developed. Even the central areas aren't properly paved, leaving the air suffocated by endless dust. As soon as you leave the central area by a mere few kilometers, you'd find slums and people living in deplorable conditions. How hard can it be to manage a country of fewer than 3 million people with abundant diamond resources? Having said that, Southern African countries have lower poverty rates and are relatively stable compared to Western and Central African countries. Now we're moving to Namibia, Windhoek, Namibia. I'd say it is one of the cleanest cities in Africa. Namibia has the second largest white population in Africa, and this shows in its infrastructure. It was part of South Africa until it gained independence in 1990. Since then, the minority white and majority black population have lived almost like a segregated people. White, black, but still peaceful. Windhoek is a clean city until you travel a few kilometers outside of Long Independence Avenue from the heart of Windhoek into the slums of the poor black neighborhood. No white Namibian lives in poverty, and every Namibian living in poverty is black. Still, the black more or less learned from the white. Unlike Nigeria and West Africa, they built most of Windhoek's infrastructure and have continued to maintain a decent level of cleanliness. For a country of just 3 million people like its neighbor Botswana, endowed with diamond, it should not have so many poor people, isn't it? Now, moving on to South Africa, we're going to touch on Johannesburg, Sandton, and Cape Town. Johannesburg is rapidly becoming Black Africa, whilst Cape Town has stayed quasi-European. Nowhere in Africa makes the data so glaring that Black people can't build or manage anything than South Africa.
Damn.
It's like being given Tokyo on a platter, then coming back in less than 30 years to find Lagos. Even with that, as you approach the airport, the city center, and Sandton, you can feel the glare of a collapsing, top-notch city that the Europeans built. Cape Town, on the other hand, is still okayish because the whites are in control of things.
Isn't that crazy? This is a Black man saying this who lives in Africa, an African traveling around Africa, saying Cape Town looks okay-ish still because whites are running it. What, dude? Are you paying attention? How much hate does he get? How much shit do they give him for speaking so he can raise his community up, so he can raise the standards of his people up? That's what's crazy. I'm on the outside just noticing this shit. I'll get the racist talk, whatever. Fine, don't care. I don't have to live in this. I don't have to deal with this. I don't have to worry about getting shot by the time I'm 25. That's not my problem. I'm just making it visible so that maybe we could start asking questions. Imagine you have to live through this shit. Imagine this is your community, your people, your problems, and you rather sweep it under the rug and not deal with it at all. I'm just saying, that's kind of crazy, bro. Do you really care about your people? Do you really want to advance Black culture, African nations? Well, the first thing you have to do is be able to show people the truth. You have to talk about it. Stop pretending shit's gravy and you're doing fine or blaming it on everybody else but yourselves.
We all pray that it stays that way. Wherever white people go, they build, whilst wherever Black people go, they destroy. Data don't care about your feelings. There is no record of any Black people having ever built anything. It is time to humble ourselves, accept our shortcomings, and learn. Sandton and Cape Town could pass for a developed city. All hope is not gone for South Africa. It is still not too late to hand it back to the white. Europeans...
Hey, and I've heard this argument. I made this argument. Hand it back.
Late to hand it back to the white.
Just get the people that are good at managing systems like this to manage the systems. And then the Arabs are doing it. The Arabs do this. They hire Europeans. They hire Westerners to come over, build their countries, maintain the shit, teach them how to do some of those things so they can do a lot of the work themselves that they can, but they still have the specialists and the experts that are from the West. Why not do the same thing?
Europeans didn't only build Europe, they also built Africa. Black Africans have destroyed Africa, not Europeans. I have been to all the cities and countries.
Yeah, dude, you can have a real Wakanda in Africa. You just get white people to build it for you. It's okay. Let go. Let go of the pride. Stop thinking you can't have this happen. That's how the Middle East went from sand to like, look at what Dubai is, Abu Dhabi, Qatar. Look at that shit. White people built that. Engineers, white people engineered and architected that shit. It's simple, dude. Do the same in Africa. The amount of resources under the ground, you can sprout up 20 Wakandas everywhere. You really could. And all you have to do is just let white people come and build that shit for you. Why? Because that's just white people that are good at that kind of shit. Cool. Hey, how great is it that you can just hire other people to build your shit for you? Isn't that like the great position to be in? We got so much wealth beneath our feet. Well, just get these white people to come build some shit. We don't got to do nothing, but just sell them the shit underneath our feet that they find valuable. We don't find that stuff valuable. We don't care about lithium and all that shit. We don't make the products that give that stuff value. But they think it's worth a lot. And if they think it's worth a lot, come build Wakanda for us. That's the exchange. That's cool.
presented in this video.
That's what I would do. I don't know why that's... Bro, that's the greatest hustle ever. I don't know why they don't do that. Like, what kind of pride do you have that just does not allow you to make use of all this wealth underneath your
Black
feet?
man requires a fundamental change if he is to catch up with the rest of the world. If you think we're wrong, if you think we missed anything, please leave them in the comments.
Damn, what do the comments say? As Africans, we need to take responsibility for our own actions. The most honest African on social media, and they're running our cities into the same holes. He says incredible things that no one else is brave enough to say. People don't litter because they're poor. They're poor because they litter. Time to learn to take responsibility. A lot of people call you a sellout for stating the truth and for working for Africa. We adore your awakening videos that help Africans to be more critical and sharper. Exact thing I'm thinking. This is what happens when you don't have a concept of cleanliness and maintenance. Damn. Honesty is very refreshing. Truth doesn't care about feelings and weakness. Keep reporting. Yep. All right, so stuff's going on apparently with the dinner, right? Let's see. We'll just go to Fox Live because I bet you they're reporting on it right now.
A damp 911 donated $5. Imagine the powerhouse Africa could be in the world if these issues could be addressed.
Dude, Africa would be the richest. All African countries would be the richest in the world if they just let whites come build that shit and benefited from everything they have underneath their feet, literally.
Here, Hal, because there's just little pieces of new information that are coming out. Some in the crowd were reporting that they heard 5 to 8 shots fired. Of course, during moments like this, there is confusion. And a lot of time, it takes time, and it takes time and clarity for us to fully get a grasp.
All right, bro, shut up. Anybody got like a quick rundown? Here we go. Power. Look at all this power coalescing. Oh, he just got snatched right up there. Wow. All right.
So, you know, people want to stay in it, and it looks like people are sitting back down.
It certainly looks much calmer in that room right now than it did just a few moments ago. Tom, please stand by for us. We want to go back to Garrett Hake, who I believe is still outside the Hilton in Washington, where we will rejoin him. Garrett, what can you tell us?
Here, which is as close as we can get back into the ballroom. Anyone who got upstairs where it appears this incident occurred was evacuated out the main doors of the hotel, down the block, about a block and a half. We're being kept here by Metropolitan Police Department, who have secured the entire perimeter around the Washington Hilton Hotel. The president, of course, as Tom laid out, is still inside. We're getting reports from the press pool who travels with the president that they never left. They were essentially kept in a hold room. This hotel, which hosts this and other high-profile events like this, is something that the Secret Service, the MPD, and the other law enforcement agencies that protect the president and some of these detailees, like the Capitol Police Department, know well and know how to secure. Police are trying to keep folks on the sidewalk here. We're in a situation now where you can probably hear the helicopters overhead right now. To Tom's point, it's the desire of the president, as he made clear in that Truth Social post, that the show go on. It's the desire of the White House Correspondents Association that the show go on. But it'll ultimately be the Secret Service and the MPD that make that call to see if it's safe enough to do so. Getting a little bit more information here. Is that anything I can report? No, okay. So right now we're basically operating off the same information here. We've got folks who are outside who were pressed out by the MPD and by the Secret Service here, trying to keep the perimeter safe as the decision is made whether or not this event can go on, Jessica.
Garrett, thank you so much. Let's now go to NBC's Tom Winter, who joins us live on the phone. Tom, what do you have?
The United States Secret Service is now saying on the record that there has been a confirmed shooting incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner near the main magnetometer. That's the area where people would have gone through to have their bags checked, to go through metal detectors. That there was a shooting incident there, and a person is in custody. The condition of that person is not immediately known.
Okay, so they have the guy?
President, the First Lady, all Secret Service protectees.
This is crazy. Stuff like this hurts the Dems because they look like radical left loonies. He's still getting shot at. Dude, give him... He hasn't had a year yet. Like, you know how crazy that is?
There'll be members of the cabinet, select members of Congress. They are all okay, according to the Secret Service. The information on who this person is...
There's so many attempts on his life. Imagine, God forbid, that he doesn't even get to finish out his 4 years because obviously he's so politically charged. Even amongst his own base now, he's unpopular. But imagine if the left obviously hates him so much. Imagine if the left does something and succeeds. How will that affect America politically going forward? This is the same side that keeps calling him a fascist, a Nazi, and riling up their base with crazy rhetoric. But there are mentally ill people on the left that buy into that messaging and then go attempt shit like this. Maybe one day it's successful. Hopefully not. Don't wish death on nobody. That's insane that we even have to have this discussion. But what does this do to the political climate in America? I made a post, which is like, it's kind of crazy that this happened. Because look, my post earlier was about something slightly different, but sort of related because it deals with the left. There was this intellectual in France that was saying, it's not the great replacement, it's the great irrigation, says French intellectual retard. Old France should be irrigated by Africa, and that's precisely what's going to happen. It's not the great replacement, it's the great irrigation. So a white intellectual from France, liberal, is basically talking about the white replacement. So these are liberal policies, just like the liberals brought in 20 plus million illegals into the country with open borders. And I wrote, we're going to get to a point where leftists will be considered enemies of the state. The right better wake up while they still have the numbers. How many more attempts on the president? How many more attempts potentially on members of the cabinet, of the administration, before we start having a national conversation that the left is mentally ill? The left is actually sick and dangerous politically, and actually gaslighting everybody else when they call us extremists, when they call us, Nazis and shit like that, because that's what they're doing. They can't stand him to finish his term. Did anybody make attempts on Biden from the right? Besides mocking him endlessly for the fact that he didn't know where he was, he had dementia. Dementia Joe. Were there attempts on Biden? I'm not sure. I can't remember. I don't actually remember Biden having attempts on his life other than everybody clowning the shit out of Biden. But somehow this is now becoming normal here.
Their background.
I understand the sentiment of not caring the politicians are degenerate themselves, but from a historical context, you have to understand what this means when society enters a phase where politics gets bloody. Because it would be nice for you to make it out the other side of civil strife unharmed, unscathed. It would be nice. It usually doesn't happen.
Their motivations, what led up to that shooting incident, that's all under investigation at this hour. But again, United States Secret Service spokesperson Anthony Guglielmi confirming on the record that there has been a shooting incident at the White House Correspondents' Dinner. A person is in custody. The condition of that person is not known, and that the President, First Lady, and all protectees are now safe.
Tom, what do we know about any injuries that resulted from the shots being fired? And do we know if the president was ultimately a target at this dinner?
We know nothing about what this person wanted to, at least the information that we're getting. We don't have any sort of sense, at least at this hour. We will presumably at some point have a sense of this as to who this person was targeting, what they were doing there, what they said, if they said anything. That's all part of the investigation. But it appears that the incident was near the security area and that law enforcement may have engaged this.
Okay, interesting. There he is, getting rushed right away. All the agents showing up, responding to the fire. Okay, here's another angle. All right. Huh. I don't know. I guess we'll have to find out how they're going to spin this or what's going to happen with it. But in the Iran conflict, I mean, there's so much to cover with the Iran stuff, too. It's kind of crazy.
Zero. Yeah, gas prices are awful. We're being gouged by the gas companies. We get zero oil, from Iran, and we're actually exporting it. I know it's a commodity, but we give the oil companies billions of dollars in subsidies, and it's not right. They're ripping us off. But President Trump has orchestrated another ceasefire, and I'm confident he's the deal maker in chief.
Bro. You sure about that? You sure about that? Thanks for the 500 kicks, brother. The only life-threatening event Biden had during his presidency was when he fell off a bike and Secret Service had to help him get up. Pretty much. Pretty much. So this is Trump negotiating and failing. Okay. Here's what's happening, eh? The U.S. is reportedly willing to let Iran enrich some uranium in the second half of the proposed 20-year pause, according to the Wall Street Journal. This is a massive shift. Washington went from zero enrichment forever to okay, maybe after 10 years. Iran wanted 5, the U.S. wanted permanent. They're meeting somewhere in the middle. Wow. Great deal. So they're still getting uranium. Okay. Scott Jennings exposes Obama. CNN loses it. Where's some other stuff? Okay, here we go.
Trip, we have all the cards. You probably heard that we canceled the trip. We have all the cards. We're not going to spend 15 hours in airplanes all the time going back and forth to be giving a document that was not good enough. And so we'll deal by telephone, and they can call us anytime they want. Again, we have all the cards. They have no military left, practically. They have no...
How do we have all the cards if we're willing to give them uranium?
Leaders left. We don't know who the leaders are. Nobody knows who the leaders... I don't think they know who the leaders are, very importantly. So you saw that.
And the ceasefire is how long now? Iran's Foreign Minister Aragchi, released a statement after leaving Pakistan without meeting with the U.S. Very fruitful visit to Pakistan, whose good offices and brotherly efforts to bring back peace to our region we very much value. Shared Iran's position concerning workable frameworks to permanently end the war in Iran. Have yet to see if the U.S. is truly serious about diplomacy. Boom. There you go. There you go. Trump, Iran gave us a paper that could have been better. Trump, Iran gave another paper that was better. Trump, Iran offered a lot, but not enough. What? Okay. U.S. imposes sanctions on China-based oil refinery and 40 shippers over Iranian oil. Okay.
Few weeks. What will happen in the next few weeks, if we don't choose the off-ramp, is the physical destruction of a lot of the Gulf region and of the Middle East more generally, because the U.S. will rain missiles and bombs on Iran, and Iran will launch what it has against targets in the neighborhood to show deterrence, and hoping that that deterrence will stop something. Often, instead, what you get is just both sides unleashing their arsenals. And what will happen
At Fishman 5519 donated $2. Trump better be careful what microphone. He wears grinning face with smiling eyes and sweat drop.
All right. Oh, dude, watch out for the trap doors, bro.
At Totha Chickens donated $2. And here comes $sign real with a steel chair.
Yep. As usual, they were already prepping to strike Iran. They were waiting for green lights, they were saying.
Short period of time is not a closure of shipping, but a destruction of the physical capacities of providing the oil and the gas and the fertilizers and the petrochemicals and the other very core commodities for the world economy. And it doesn't take that much to bring the world economy into a tailspin, because you don't need to close down half the oil supply. You might need to shut off 20% of the world oil supply, and that by enough will send the prices soaring, make Americans really suffer across the board, because it's not only at the gas pump and not only in the utility bills, but also in the cost of food, which will soar from this as well, because there will be a worldwide disruption of food supplies.
We're already getting disruptions in food supply, oil, gas, urea, things for processors. We already have issues. And this is going to be like a delayed lag until we actually get to feel it. So by this summer and by fall is where the pain from the current so-called special operation or war is going to actually be felt by everybody. We're still running on supply we had weeks, months ago. Once that starts to, be fully dried up, the war continues, because clearly after this pause, it probably will continue unless Trump doesn't care and he's like, I'm pulling out anyways. It seems likely Israel already signaled that they want the war to continue and that we shouldn't let up. Perfect. On top of that, hey, thanks, Ascendant, for the gifted. On top of that, Iran said they're not interested in any deals and coming to the table if they're not talking uranium and whatever else. And I saw some crazy stuff that Iran wants something like $10 trillion in restitution for the war, for the damages, and all the money that they've lost over the years from being sanctioned. Like, whoa, dude, maximalist demands right there.
Coming from this, because we're a very significant proportion of the urea, which underpins the nitrogen-based fertilizers of the world, come from this region.
From natural gas.
From the natural gas production, exactly. From the oil and gas.
Yes, sir. Iran hints at a strike on internet infrastructure, an entire region at risk. There you go. They're going to go for the undersea cables, eh?
And we're not. President Trump said it again yesterday. We have all the time in the world. And we're not anxious for a deal. And I hear him say it every day in private as well. Iran knows that they still have an open window to choose wisely. As we said previously, choose wisely at the negotiating table. All they have to do is abandon a nuclear weapon in meaningful and verifiable ways, or instead they can watch their regime's fragile economic state collapse.
So we're going to sacrifice Europe for this, for Israel?
Nurse, and I have to say that right now that I'm talking to you, a nurse.
Propaganda,
I think part of what happened was, again, I began hearing that the Chinese may have recut off our exports of rare earths to us a few weeks ago. And if that's the case, the war was over. It's just a question of when, because we've run down interceptor missiles so fast. We're running low, as are the Israelis, and we're running out of interceptor missiles faster than the Iranians are running out of offensive things. And so
that seems more likely.
If China, and we can't make those things without Chinese rare earths. So if China tightens the exports on that, the war's over. It's just, okay, we're just going to wait and see. And, do the Americans want to completely run out and make it very obvious to everyone they run out? Or do we want to have a ceasefire and start talking? And what we've had a ceasefire and everyone started.
That makes perfect sense to me. We
A
knew that
damp
this was going to happen.
911 donated $5. 2 local farms by me sold to data centers. Another farm cannot plant due to fertilizer shortages. Locals are offering their bags for home and even their compost. I offered to donate so they can buy fertilizer. I was turned down. No movement at the farms.
Big AI, bro, gonna come step on all of us. I'm telling you, it's a matter of time. This is why I'm trying to code my way to freedom. I need to stop yelling at Claude before he executes a kill order on me. This guy says negotiations with Iran are beyond the capabilities of Witkoff and Kushner. Says the American Democratic senator said Jared Kushner is the son-in-law of President Donald Trump, and Steve Witkoff, his chief negotiator, do not have the necessary diplomatic skills and experience to reach an agreement with Iran on issues whose resolution is complex and lengthy. As well as Iran saying they won't negotiate with Kushner or Witkoff either, because they say Kushner is just an instrument of Israel and Witkoff is just too much of a buffoon. And they actually asked for, this was early reporting today, Iran asked for big ol' Vice President JD. And I don't know what the hell's going on in the administration, but they weren't going to send JD and pulled him out and then said, we are going to go. And then we canceled going because the piece of paper is not good enough. We're not going to fly out there. And yep, Trump canceled the U.S. delegation. Okay. Take a close look at this. All right, here's something interesting. NBC News published a major investigation this afternoon. NBC News, take that with a grain of salt. 6 reporters, 6 named sources inside the government. The story breaks open something the Trump admin has been hiding for 2 months. The damage Iran did to American military bases in the opening phase of the war is far worse than the Pentagon has admitted. Repairs will cost billions of dollars. Here's what the NBC found. American military bases and other equipment in the Persian Gulf region suffered extensive damage from Iranian strikes that is far worse than publicly acknowledged. Expected to cost billions, according to 3 U.S. officials, 2 congressional aides, and another person familiar with the damage. The Iranian regime swiftly retaliated after the Trump admin attacked on February 28th, hitting dozens of targets across the U.S. military bases in 7 Middle East countries. Those attacks struck warehouses, command headquarters, aircraft hangars, satellite communication infrastructure, runways, high-end radar systems, and dozens of aircraft, according to U.S. officials. And an assessment by the American Enterprise Institute, a conservative think tank in Washington, D.C. In the initial days of the war, an Iranian F-5 fighter jet bombed the U.S. base camp Buring in Kuwait. Despite the base having air defenses, a rare breach that marked the first time an enemy fixed-wing aircraft has struck an American military base in years, according to 2 U.S. officials. Wow. Ooh, got to go through that one quickly. You know why. Update. Iran sent the U.S. a new offer 10 minutes after Pakistan talks were canceled. Here is the proposal. U.S. guarantee of non-aggression, a binding commitment from the U.S. and allies against future attacks on Iran confirmed by UN Security Council. 2. Iranian control of the Strait of Hormuz. Haha, that's a non-starter. Iran retains full control, including possibility of regulating passage and charging fees on shipping. Major economic, that's not going to happen. That's insane. Okay, U.S. non-aggression, fine. Israel will violate that. Restrictions on Iranian nuclear activities for 10 years, but also acceptance of Iran's right to uranium enrichment. Formal recognition of Iran's nuclear enrichment activities. Okay. 4 to 5, lifting of all primary and secondary sanctions. Okay. Termination of UN Security Council and IAEA resolutions against Iran. Look, this is the one. Reparations and compensation for war damages to Iran. You think America is going to give them reparations for war damages? Think about that one for a second. U.S. military withdrawal from the region. Combat forces from bases in the Middle East. Cessation of hostilities on all fronts. End to all regional wars, including against Iran's allies / proxies like Hezbollah, Iran. Israel will never go for that. And the broader axis of resistance. Yeah. Iran has prepared the largest missile strike in history against Israel and the U.S. bases in West Asia to be launched immediately upon detecting any signs of attack. Okay. Breaking. It's been reported that the United States is vastly underreporting casualties in Iran. We are estimated to have lost up to 750 troops, despite only reporting on 15. Again, I haven't confirmed. We're watching these live. I haven't confirmed all these and done enough research to see.
What are you hearing from your Senate colleagues?
Well, first of all, he shouldn't be spending tonight sipping champagne. He should be focused on ending the war in Iran, and he should be focused on getting the costs down for the American people, for our health care.
Okay. Interesting. We'll look into this more later. Let's just get to more commentary. I'm trying to see if there's anything interesting going on this. Says Iran, and this is also an interesting point too, Iran reportedly has enough uranium at present, not just highly enriched uranium, to build something from a few dozen up to 100 nuclear warheads, which would even exceed the size of Israel's estimated nuclear arsenal. Pakistan developed and tested a nuclear weapon and was forgiven within a few years. Today, it is effectively integrated into the global economy while continuing to build the world's fastest growing tactical nuclear weapons arsenal. Everybody just accepts this as reality. Iran, meanwhile, never developed a nuclear weapon and continued adhering to the NPT and has instead been repeatedly attacked and sanctioned up to and including the most recent attempt at total regime change. There must be some lesson here. I bet. People are going to race to develop nuclear weapons and programs.
Asia and Iran. Mostly what China exports to Central Asia and Iran, all sorts of manufactured products. Another thing that could start happening soon, and it's another parallel corridor for Iran, they can export oil through this railway as well. Of course, much less quantities, but it's also an oil corridor. They can use it as one of their backup oil corridors to China over land, and of course, immune to sanctions and immune to American blockades.
Are the Americans and Israelis aware of this, or don't they care, or do they want to disrupt it?
If you ask anybody in Washington, Judge, about the INSTC, forget it. They have no clue what this is all about. Just like Trump didn't know what BRICS is all about. The ignorance in deciding circles in the U.S. about everything that is being happening in Eurasia geoeconomically is staggering. They only know that the Russians have the Arctic Silk Road, as the Chinese call it.
U.S.-Iran stalemate and escalation risk. Absent near-term diplomatic breakthrough, escalation between the United States and Iran is increasingly likely. So here's the takeaways this guy has. Diplomatic track stalled. President Trump's decision to forego dispatching senior envoys or pursuing indirect channels via Pakistan signals that diplomatic efforts have reached an impasse. Iran's latest response appears to reaffirm entrenched red lines, reinforcing Washington's assessment. So this is just a brief pause while we're rearming, and then we will continue. Great. Escalation dynamics intensifying. The combination of diplomatic deadlock and the emerging maritime blockade framework increases the risk of confrontation. IRGC signaling, particularly from Khatam al-Anbiya Command, low tolerance for a sustained or effective blockade. Iranian countermeasures are likely. U.S. strategic options and risks. Washington faces a choice between A, waiting strategy, relying on economic and maritime pressure to compel Iranian concessions, low probability of success, or B, kinetic option, leveraging the current regional force posture to conduct limited military action. By the way, it coincides, how funny is it? How funny is this? That the last carrier that is deployed over there towards the Middle East is due to arrive exactly when this ceasefire finishes, or was slated to finish. So our assets are now in place, or are going to be in place fully by the time the ceasefire, quote, fails, or expected to fail. Lack of an on-ramp, or off-ramp, excuse me. There's currently no clear de-escalation mechanism. All right, let it play out. See what happens. Does this have music?
This video is sponsored by Valuable for Boom.
Music. Does this have music?
Who's the villain?
Music. Gotta watch that on Kick only. Does this have
of all
music?
The crises on all of it? I mean, money made Jeff Bezos sad. Of all the
cool. We'll watch this one.
Crises on Earth, there's one we're not addressing with any sense of urgency for a couple. But in America, population crisis. So to keep a population stable, you need about 2 kids per couple. But in America, we're having like 1.5 each. That means our country.
A dank 911 donated $5. Europe with Japan is calling for war with Russia. Estimates as soon as June. Men cannot travel without permission. Calling for citizens to be ready with food, water, fuel, etc. Economic reset with another world war?
It looks likely. That's how World War II was. You didn't really know what the hell was going to happen until it escalated. It started off with a few things going off here and there, Sudetenland, Czechoslovakia here and there. Hey, Poland just got partitioned, and now it's just fully on. So, what's the flashpoint? I don't know. Does China just go like, what? Taiwan would be perfect time to just take that shit right now. I don't know. There's a lot of fear mongering. There's a lot of saber rattling, and we are in a kinetic war right now. So who knows?
Is on track for population decline, as is already happening.
We're ruled by absolute goofies right now. We don't have real leadership. What we call our leaders today shouldn't have been within a galactic unit of distance of a position of power, but it is what it is.
Happening in China, Japan, South Korea, and Greece. And that's really bad because when your population is declining, it's really hard to have economic growth. You can have labor shortages, and it threatens the solvency of America's biggest spending program. America spent $1.5 trillion last year on Social Security. That's more than we spent on the US military. This is our biggest spending program by a lot. And here's the thing. The Social Security website published itself saying that because of demographic changes, they're on track to be brought to their knees. And for you kinky people watching, they mean that as a bad thing. Okay, the same document also says that apparently Washington isn't planning to do anything about this. That's so unlike them. So these countries, much like Korea, spent $200 billion and still saw...
We can't watch half of these videos. The music alone will just knock the stream off, boys. We would have to go exclusively to Kick. And your boy's getting hungry. Okay. Because he was doing so well in that last one. We'll watch this. These three should be safe. Okay. So breaking down double standard. We have to cut it off because YouTube fucking sucks for that reason. What do they give back? Breaking down double standard with Steven Crowder. Let's get something more interesting.
Anyone out there and has caught my attention is lasering in on questions where it comes down to this. We know what the fundamental duties are of men. We know what our rights are. Let's get past that discussion. But no one wants to define what that is for women. And ultimately, if people think that's offensive, you can scream until you're blue in the face. Young men are checking out, they're not getting married, and that's not good for our country. That's not good for our birth rate. That's not good for our society. So do we want to deal with the offense that is the reason for men checking out? Or do we want to simply leave it at, well, that's offensive. We don't want to ever place duties on women.
Yeah, so, I mean, this is the fundamental question. So let's take everything, every type of political ideology you can think of, every type of ideology you can think of, and just put them in a series of propositions, logical propositions. If we take a bird's eye view of all of the world, here's what the world really is. It's a series and sequence of men courting each other over resources and land. Okay?
Right.
That's what every nation is. That's what every tribe is.
Today it could be over kicks.
Yeah, it could be over whatever, right? But fundamentally, that really is what's going on. Now, men intuitively actually understand this. In fact, they don't even have a problem with this, where they're like, yep, it's going to be our tribe and your tribe. That's the way it is. Right? You don't even really have to describe this reality for them because they just understand that that's the reality. Because of that, what has happened is it falls to the duty of the stronger sex to protect women and the weaker sex. I completely agree that that is true. But also it falls to them the duty of procurement of resources, the refinement of resources, the distribution of resources. And this is at the political level down, the distribution of resources. So that's all politicians ever fight about, all day, every day, nonstop. So if we're in the distribution phase, right, men have procured this and, they're distributing it, and it's women and children who are the primary beneficiaries of it and not men. We know what our duties are. They're very complete and they're not very complex. Yeah. Protectors, provider, right? And that's how you demonstrate we're the protectors and providers.
Skilled lover, but sure.
Yeah. So what are women? What are their duties? So here's my question. I'll ask you, what is a woman's duty? What are her duties that are on par with that of men?
Well, hold on a second. Before Gerald answers, I think you did a good job because you put him on the spot. I'll give you time to think about it. Yeah. I think you did a really good job of, and this is something that you also address, overt feminism versus...
And it's kind of crazy that you can't have this... Did you see the pause that the guy had? You say this in Eastern Europe, women will automatically go, a woman's duty is to serve her husband and have children and bear children and raise them. Without even thinking. It's just automatic. Like, yeah, women have children. In the West, it's like you have to pause. Don't make me answer this. Like, how am I going to wiggle around this answer to not piss off people and say they're going to label me a misogynist? That's how crazy we've gotten to the left. We can't even have a simple conversation about women's duties in society. Yeah, men are supposed to go die in war. Okay, dude. Well, what are women supposed to do? Exist? What are women supposed to do for society? What is their sacrifice? Men have to sacrifice their lives to defend the tribe, right? Women would have to sacrifice their bodies to rear children. Now, zero. Women have zero duties, zero responsibilities, but they get to have all the privilege, all the benefits without having earned either. If you're a mother, great, dude. We'll put you up higher. If you're not a mother and you're a woman, sorry, dude, but You're going to have to be seen at the bottom rung of society. The same way that you see a man who has no job and is broke and not providing anything for society, they're shamed and looked down upon as deadbeats. Yeah, women could be deadbeats too that don't have kids like that. If you're a married woman and shit like that, okay, cool, you're in another level. But if you're single, 40-something, never brought up any kids, you're a deadbeat. You have to be called a deadbeat. We have to re-engineer how we see society if we wanted to continue. We have a population collapse. If women want the privileges, then they're going to have to sacrifice by rearing children. Just like if there's a war, it's men who have to go fight. And that's understood. I think it's just common sense. I think it's fair. If the feminists are fighting for equality, then that should be fair, right? And cool. If you don't want any kids, you can't vote. It's very simple. If you're a woman and you have no kid, you can't vote. You can't vote. I think that's fair, right? I think a woman who has children has skin in the game and she has to vote. Just like a man who exists simply for existing because his nation will call on him to go to war in a draft. He has no choice. That's skin in the game, and he gets to vote for that. And even then, you're just not automatically going to grant people the right to vote. You have to have skin in the game. You got to be a net contributor for taxes, for example, own land. That's how we have to do. That's how we did it before. Sign up for the military and give your body up. It's that simple.
It's covert feminism. You were on Piers Morgan with Tommy Lair, and a lot of people ran the clip where, you know, there's some back and forth kind of dunking Snippy, but a lot of people missed this macro point that you made, which I think is the crux of it.
So I believe there we go again. Piers, I'm a woman of virtue. I happen to be independently successful. I have a husband who's not only a former professional athlete, but is currently a professional baseball coach. So
professional.
Is he not a masculine man? I mean, I'm confused here. What's your concept of a masculine man? Mine is a man who respects me.
Yeah, that misses the point, though. Like, you're still not contending with the argument that I'm making. What's your point? I'm saying inside of society, right this second, right, masculinity is not only punished, but also women on the right, covert feminists on the right, are constantly and consistently talking about how they need to have privilege in society. I want men. Their version of masculinity is men who take care of us, men who protect us, men who do all of this. Those are all duties that men have towards women. Great. What are the duties that women have towards men? What are the duties that women have towards anything? What do men get out of this arrangement? What are we getting out of this arrangement? Can you tell me?
I mean,
well, as I was going to answer.
And then the gay guy chimes in as if the gay guy has an opinion on this. You're gay, bro. You smash dudes. Like, pipe down. I don't know why you're even part of this discussion. Just like that, this shit doesn't even make sense. Like, hey, if we're gonna have a real discussion, you got the married guy here with kids, you got the married woman here to a professional with no kids. I don't think she has any kids. Don't know who this guy is, but then you have a random gay dude like interjecting on what could you bring to this discussion when we're talking about feminism, duties of women?
Men innately should be protectors and providers.
Hang on one second. Let Tommy respond.
Most men are born that way.
Let Tommy respond to that, and then I'll come to you, Jez. And then Sean, you've been waiting patiently. So
most men are born to be protectors and providers. I can't imagine my dad saying, you know what, to my mom, you know what, I'm not going to be a protector and a provider unless you do this. That's not how real men operate. Real men are protectors.
You see how they do that? Real men. Do you see how the talking down to, the dressing down in public? You can't tell me, well, if my dad, I could never imagine him saying that because a real man. What would you know about a real man? Do you know the kind of woman your father got, most likely? That the kind of woman your grandfather got? How many kids was she bearing for him? How many kids have you bared for your husband? The answer is 0. So you're not even on your mother's level. Just being real. What do? You're on a podcast. Like, be home, cook shit. You have a professional husband. From baseball, he's worth multiple millions. Why are you even working? Why is your face on the internet? What's a real man then? Explain to me. If he's a real man and he's got all the bills paid, why are you doing this? Why are you arguing with other men? Does that seem ladylike at all? Is this very traditional looking for a woman to be engaging in political speech like this against other men? What are you doing? Shouldn't you be at home with kids? Because you have your masculine alpha real man? Where's his kids? Where are you raising his kids? You guys have no excuses about money. You have no excuses about preparing for a family life. You are with a guy worth multiple millions of dollars. What happened there, Miss Conservative? That's the hypocrisy in this kind of shit.
And providers, and they marry women who hopefully have some virtue, but also bring a lot to the table as well, that are great mothers, great wives, caretakers of the home. There's nothing.
Yeah, it's like she's just benefiting, right? Her duty to giving her husband kids, 0. They have none. But she gets the benefit from her husband, all the money he's making, the fame he has, the multiple millions, the life that is earned through bearing children. She's earning it for free. So that guy's like practically cucked out of his mind. You don't even have, your lineage is not even being passed down. You're not even given sons. Bro, imagine you're a professional baseball player worth multiple millions of dollars. You got to such a peak in society, and your reward is a blonde harpy that can't even bear your children. Why even work hard? Why even get married? Why? You can't even give me kids. Why?
Nothing wrong with being a traditional wife and mother. You're misunderstanding me if you think that I think that women should just be out doing whatever they want. I think that there are gender roles that should be respected. But I don't think a man needs to get something out of it to be a manly man, a protector, and a provider. If you think you need to get something out of it, I quite frankly don't consider you a real man.
To unpack there, as people say, I will say you do need to provide something for him to be a manly man for and solely dedicated to you. I think that's a fundamental misunderstanding. Yeah, should it be a man in society, but one dedicated to you? Full disclosure, Tommy Loren, if you've watched the show for a significant period of time, has been on. I have no ill will toward Tommy Loren. I just think that was a seminal moment here in this movement because you've been often misrepresented. Sometimes people are like, he just dunks on whores. Although, when in Rome, every now and then.
Yeah.
But that's not what you're about. You really... you are, I hate to use the term educator because it sounds so self-important.
Logician would be a good one.
There you go. Okay. So, and you've talked about the way you approach it.
Yeah, so focused logician, focusing from the Christian ethics side. The reason that this is obviously controversial and stun-locking for people is because they expect Christians to act in a very effeminate way because the masculinity of Christianity, especially on the Protestant side, has been completely sucked out by these blood-circling, viperous, sewing circle Christians is what I call them, and they're covert feminists.
That's a long name.
Yeah. I was like looking for a bunch of adjectives to lace together.
We could maybe just like bumper sticker it to shrill bitches.
Yeah, that's where that word.
But I understand. So you were asking him before.
Yeah, so like what is
duty?
I thought this was a really important question that I hadn't really thought as much about until I saw that clip with you and Tommy. I was like, man, this goes right to the heart of some of the things that I've been thinking about and talking with my wife about. Wouldn't it be great if somebody was articulating that for women today? Because it seems to be a huge disconnect. And you can go back biblically and go, okay, well, what does the Bible kind of say about this? Well, it's obviously, having children and raising children, but there's other stuff too. Like when you read Proverbs 31, it doesn't mean that the wife is just sitting at home barefoot, pregnant, and waiting for the husband to come home. Like she does a lot of stuff in that, and does things for the family, So I would say my answer to that, and what Tommy probably should have said, okay, is that what you get out of it is children, right? I have the children and I will be a mom to those children. I'll be faithful. I'll take care of the home and I will be a good wife to you as well as a good mother. And there's maybe some other stuff, but
are women having children?
Well, the birth rate would suggest otherwise. So
then it appears like perhaps they're failing at their duty, right? So if a woman brings this up as a duty, right, and knows that you can counter by saying, like in Tommy Loren's particular case, does she have children?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Yeah,
and so the thing is, it's like, a lot of these women, the reason they can't utilize this as an answer is because they don't live up to the very dutied expectation that they themselves would permeate to other people, right? I agree with you. I think that childbirth is uniquely a thing. I mean, only women can do this. And it puts them in a position of privilege in society. And we put them there because they need to be protected, right?
Yeah.
But what do we get here? We're supposed to be getting the children, and we're supposed to be getting the mom for the children, and the dutiful wife, and the women of great virtues, as I brought up.
Right.
Tommy Loren, the reason this was such kind of a shot against her is because what she said was, men innately want to just do this for us.
Right.
Yeah. So what does she do? She instantly assigns herself and all women privilege. We instantly put ourselves in a position of privilege versus men. It's innate for you, Stephen, that you want to buy me nice shit and then watch me put it on.
Yeah.
Like, you're
Well, what's the right
privileged.
kind of-
You're privileged. Don't you want me to be happy buying nice shit? And you get to provide it. You're doing you're doing exactly what a real man's supposed to do, and I'm doing exactly what a woman's
Andrew, I have
supposed
to tell
do.
you, you're a horrible salesman.
Yeah.
You really are. And by the way, it's not so much the putting on as the taking off that's the fun part.
Exactly.
So let's just be
I mean,
clear.
come on, let's just be honest here. Wherever disagreements exist,
With your wife.
that's a crowd pleaser.
With your wife.
Let me. Okay, so that is, and it was fascinating to me. I will say, I don't want to keep going back to it. That no one answered, not even the homosexual sort of ally in there. No one on that show answered at any point. And when they were asked, they still kept coming back to what was clearly an expected duty of men all the time.
Yeah.
And men are checking
And what's
out.
the very first thing they always say? And you'll see it on every single kind of feminist exchange I have. You're not a real man, right? So you get to make the determination on what men are or not, aren't, right?
Yeah.
Now, what if I said this back to you? Oh, you can't have children? You're not a real. How would that go
Checkmate.
over? Wouldn't
No,
go
very
over
poorly.
Oh, really? Probably wouldn't go over very well, right?
Yeah.
But if they assign that as a duty that women ought to be moving towards, it doesn't mean every woman can have kids. They can't.
Right.
We know this. But they also should not be trying to provide an environment where other women are not. They should not be moving in society towards a lack of childbirth, but facilitating other women having children and families, even if they themselves can't. I mean, we wouldn't count them out. You wouldn't say,
I agree with that.
you had a hysterectomy because you had cancer.
Our society's upside down. We push women to be selfish. We push them to be boss babes. We push them to literally put themselves first. And even when they do end up with a man, it's like an extractive kind of relationship. They're leeches. They just take and they don't give. What do I get out of this? What do I get from this situationship, this relationship, this whatever understanding of I'm just here to get free shit while you give me stuff in the moment you stop. And it's so transactional with women today. That Disney mentality shit, it has to die out in men because it just doesn't exist anymore. Women are extremely pragmatic and selfish today. For them, it's all a transaction. It's all a running counter, what they can get from you at any given moment. And that's how they actually compare when they're in the little friends group. And I say this all the time. The women love to basically out-simp one another. For them, it's a status symbol to have a man simp for them. So when they get into their little girl groups, they're talking shit about their men and how much they simped. What he bought, where he took me, what he did for me, how much money he gave me. Girl, I got this. Girl, my man just did this. It's constantly a comparison amongst women of the shit that they extract from the men that they're with. That's it. You hold no value. If you're injured, bro, better get over that shit real quick or I'm dropping you. You don't got money to give me? You better fucking figure something out because I'm only here temporarily as long as you got the money. That's what it is. That's what it is. A vast majority of these relationships with modern women today are predicated on taking. That's why Tommy Lauren is in a relationship with a professional baseball player. You think she would have dated the nice guy making $100,000 a year? Absolutely fucking not. As long as that guy stays making multiple millions of dollars, she will exist. Because she doesn't want to bear his babies, his children. She doesn't want to raise a family with them. That would require actual investment from a woman. You see, because the woman, the moment she gets pregnant, spreads her legs and bears a seed, that's a tie, a soul tie for the rest of her life to that man. That's real sacrifice from a woman. Real sacrifice is bearing his kids. Not spending his fucking money because he's a real man. That's what they don't fucking tell you. That's the quiet part out loud. If a woman has your kids, she sacrificed for you. That's why all these women today just want to fuck, be on birth control, abort babies the moment they happen, and just collect all the things that you could give them and then move on. That's a woman who's not invested. Hey, it's very easy. Women stick to men that give shit out like flies to shit. Very easy. If you were to give your shit away, you'll have women. It won't be real. They don't actually love you. This is why so many simps exist today. The simps figured this out. Simps figured out that the only value they could give a woman today is by giving them shit. This is why there's so many simps. And then you're surprised why women default into this take mentality. That's what it is today. This is the lifestyle most people are living. It's very rare to have a man who has a woman that will sacrifice herself for him. And they do that. The ultimate sacrifice is bearing his children. Because once you've bared his children, you're marked for life. That man owns you. If there's a tie there, you're never getting rid of that guy. And we see echoes of that in dating when you're a single mother and shit like that, and how men look at you when you have kids and you're off limits. Like nobody wants to touch you anymore. They'll fuck you because it's like sticking your dick in a wet hole. It means nothing beyond that. But for a real relationship, for a man to invest in you truly when you already have kids, it's seen as a joke. Same shit. A relationship with a woman, a multi-millionaire baseball player. How long have they been together? I don't know. Still no kids, dude. Wild, no?
You're not anymore. That's not what, of course, that's ridiculous. But what we would say is, if you've had the hysterectomy, right, and you can't have children, that sucks. But you should still be in society trying to create the conditionals so that other women can.
Yeah,
right.
Not
instead
advocating
of trying,
for them
instead of trying to agitate against it or promote against it, you should be trying to at least lay the groundwork down so that other women can fulfill their duties. And how do I know this? Because that's exactly what men are expected to do. You're in a wheelchair. You can't work, right? You can't provide security, resources, things like this. You still have an obligation, right, to at least attempt to facilitate so that others can. Right. So that you're not getting in the way of other people doing that, and you're still promoting in society that they can.
Well, hold on. Just as a follow-up, has anybody, not obviously Time of the Wren, because I don't think she has, but has anybody else articulated that to you in private or in some conversations? How is that possible? Because it really is the only logical answer that you can have.
Well, first of all, people don't think. And secondly, there was a feminist on this, on another Piers Morgan feminist panel I did, the Dunkin' Donuts panel, where the feminist did say,
not sponsored by
I
them.
think women have an obligation to have children.
Yeah.
Until I pressed her on it. And then suddenly that obligation, she was like, well, okay, maybe not, right? Maybe I don't actually think that. Backed away from it very quickly, and it was all back to what men's responsibility to women are, right? Women's responsibilities have been completely thrown off of them since the sexual liberation, right? Since especially the 60s. And
I think I have to censor the word sexual liberation. I just want you to know we live in a world where YouTube and these corporations and society think so low of you. They think you're such a child. You're so fucking stupid that we have to, just to be safe, just for him on his channel to not get this video suppressed, which is what they do to mine all the time, that you can't use the word sexual liberation. You have to bleep that out. I can't do that to myself. I could bleep all this shit out all the time. I just can't, guys. Sorry. I'd rather stay suppressed. I can't. I just can't, dude. I can't sanitize myself so much. I can't say certain word, grape. You have to say grape instead of rape. Yeah, dude, you ever notice? We have literally a warning on the channel right now for community guidelines. That's why the videos are getting suppressed the way they are. That's why even if you're fucking subscribed, you don't see them popping up half the time. Duh. When my channel finally gets unlocked, I've got millions of views on a video. And then, oopsies, we hit them with some fucking vague rule again. He said rape. Suppress the video. What a joke. This is why we live stream. I'd rather live stream, talk with you guys, do all this shit. The super chats and all that is enough here. The members we gain in the private community, all the cool stuff we're talking about, the members on Kick, all that. That's better. I'd rather do that than have to make these videos offline and say, like, censor over the word sexual. So I have to depend on the offline performance of the video. I'd rather depend on the live stream, and then you can just watch whatever the fuck you want after the live stream as I chop it up, and it'll get like 10,000 views and be completely crushed because the algorithm hears the word sexual and rape put together. Oh, suppress that. Anyways, so again, I'd like to reiterate, thank you so much that everybody donates, does the super chats, does the gifting, does the subbing and all that shit, the kicks and all everywhere on the platforms, the tipping, everything. That's what keeps this shit going. So I don't have to do that. Gay shit. Oh, we're suppressed again.
70s, the entire thing was the removal of patriarchy. So if you're going to be a victim class, even though you outnumber men,
Give me that. Suppress that shit.
But you're still the victim class, right? Well, then who are your victimizers? Well, it can only be men, right?
Yeah, the best support you could ever have for this channel is just blow up the private community. Just join it. You don't even have to partake, but you'll get access to all the 3 calls that we have every week. And just leave that running. If you really want to support the channel, that's the easiest way to support. Seriously. They let you keep the vast majority or be a sub on Kick. That's it, bro. That's it. The YouTube's so ridiculous. I have to speak to kids somehow. It's such a joke.
So if men are in charge of systems, that's what patriarchy is. So women, when you're talking about feminism and covert feminism, you see right-wing women do this all the time, where they try to get an egalitarian caste, right? We want egalitarianism with men at the highest echelons, highest levels. Well, that necessarily displaces male power, therefore displacing patriarchy. And you, as a conservative woman, are supposed to be for patriarchy. You're supposed to want there to be patriarchy inside the household. That's what you advocate for, but not in government. Somehow men are okay to rule their household, but the second they're in charge of the planet, then it's a problem. It's like, what are you talking about?
Well, it's
it's
we
absurd.
Had only female world leaders, there'd be no wars.
Yeah, except here's part of that red pill packet descriptors, right? There's some famous studies which were done that went back and looked at queens and looked at kings. And turns out when queens were in charge, there was more.
Thanks for the gifted, brother.
More war.
Yeah.
Not less war. And the myth of the matriarchy anyway has been completely reduced to rubble. There's never been a matriarchy in all of human history.
Right.
Ever, anywhere.
Qualify that. What do you mean
so,
by matriarchy?
So patriarchy is from the father, right? Most of the time, everything is done through what are called patrilineal means. So from father to son, so, this is the change of power. There have been queens, right? But the entire governing body is not women. The entirety of the governing body.
You know what's this duality of YouTube is what bothers me the most. Perfect. Hey, thanks for the gift. How is it that you having a sit-down discussion between 2 grown adults have to bleep out the word sexual to not get suppressed? But you can have a music video called Wet Ass Pussy with the most adult-only entertainment-looking shit on the music video, popping ass, suggestive dancing, totally not okay for children whatsoever, is pushed on the YouTube featured, gets multiple millions of views. Other videos showing dudes holding guns and pretending to shoot at you and their balls basically hanging in the video. You can see their underwear and showing drug dealing and all this criminal language about shooting and killing and robbing and smashing. And that's crazy. Hundreds of millions of views, advertisers streaming in, push that on the front page of YouTube. God forbid you say something like the word faggot on YouTube. Oh my God. That's it. Suppress it all now. Explain that to me.
Body's always men everywhere, all the time. And essentially, it always has to be that way because we have the monopoly on force. So if you look back through history, you'll see the dumb liberals will say things like, well, in the Arapaho tribe of the Navajos and the, blah, blah. It was a pure matriarchy where women were in charge. And then you look into it.
No.
And you find out this is based on progressive nonsense, verbal history, right? This comes down to verbal history. And you go, okay, well, how come it wasn't in our recorded history when we actually started dealing with this tribe? How come the men were making all the decisions and the chiefs, right? Oh, well, that was because...
Yeah, the only reason... Someone said, I haven't heard the F word on here forever. Because the live streams are good. Because you guys, through the graciousness of your, donations and super chats and tips and memberships and all that shit, enjoying the community. That's why I say that. Because if the video performs poorly as it gets suppressed after reposted, don't care. The live stream was good. I don't have to depend on that shit. So this is because of you guys. If this live stream was failing and the offline videos were failing, I'll go back to day trading. I'll disappear and I'll make my fucking M's at day trading. I don't give a fuck. I'll dedicate myself to doing that shit. Like I was before when I was no-lifing it with 10 monitors and day trading my ass off. I'll go fuck off. I hated doing that because YouTube's funner, creatively speaking. Looking at charts all day and constantly refreshing your positions is a different kind of mind-numbing shit. And I like YouTube and I like speaking with people while we're watching videos. That's why that stuff's interesting to me. And I would prefer to do this, so thank you to everybody.
A damp 911 donated $5. Wouldn't you say that that is what is getting millions of views as part of the problem?
What do you mean that that's what's getting millions of views part of the problem? Like the music videos with all the degenerate shit? I don't know. It's just that the logic doesn't hold. If they had clear rules and distinctions, like you can't do this, you can't show that, you can't say this. They say the F word every other second word. They say a bunch of other stuff every second word. If I do it, I get demonetized. But if they do it in a music video, it's pushed. That's what doesn't make sense. If I say bad words, they shouldn't be able to say bad words. Like if I can't, they can't. I don't care what medium it's in. I don't care if it's comedy. I don't care if it's a music video. It makes no difference. This is content too of a different kind. What's the difference between this, a live stream where I'm entertaining you guys, we're watching, commentating, and a music video? Where's the delineation there where they have different rules applied to them? That's what's stupid. That's the hypocrisy. That's all we're saying. Cool, dude, you had a rule that said you can't do that. I'll follow it. I have no problem. I understand. But don't fucking tell me I can't say certain words or I get suppressed, but I turn on a music video right now and we watch it on live stream. Right now on mute, the live stream would get taken down. Forget that I don't have rights to play the song. I could play the song just 10 seconds of the song. The words said in 10 seconds could get me banned. A chick showing her ass with her fucking fupa coming out of the nasty shorts she's wearing, or super suggestive clothing she has that practically looks like adult entertainment. Watching that on stream gets us banned, but somehow it's pushed for the millions on YouTube. That's what I can't stand. That's the hypocrisy of our system today.
Because of colonialism. How come there's no recorded history of these matriarchies? Because they never existed. Yeah. And these people are frauds. And what they do is they say, well, there's a verb.
They did exist. They just couldn't hack it when masculine societies overran them.
A damp 911 donated $5. Which one makes the company more money? The music video or the live stream? I think that's the issue.
Well, live streamers make them a ton of money now. Okay, the degenerate rap video itself. Think about that. Okay, well, you have people like PewDiePie that make them way more money. Did you know how many hours PewDiePie streamed before other huge streamers on the platform? I don't know who they are, but do you know how much hours of content is being consumed and how many advertisements run just after the live stream? When the video gets turned into like a video you watch, a VOD, do you know how many people watch their VODs? And how many millions of dollars worth of that? Way more than a stupid 5-minute music video ever could. It's not even close, dude. Content creators online make the platform all their money.
At Hagnartha Viking 6,584 donated $20. How's my favorite pack receiver doing?
Struggling, bro. We're getting suppressed hardcore. We said the word faggot on stream. Oh my God, YouTube. Wow. I have to treat you guys like children. We can't say the word sexual. The word sexual. Oh no, dude. It got bleeped out in the video of two men talking about the sexual liberation. We're on a platform for children, apparently. Wow. Can't have a real conversation, can we? Hey, let's fix problems. Can't say sexual. Oh, but we can watch a music video right now. Your children are literally allowed to watch the music video without being signed in to verify their age on YouTube. Can see ass shaking, drug dealing, murdering people, crazy shit like that. Can be watched by children. God forbid we watch my live stream. God forbid we watch one of Bo's videos because he said Grape. Rape. Rape. The word rape had to be censored. How many content creators censor that word in the videos? Why? Because they're trying to get money, dude. If you don't censor that shit, immediately your video gets suppressed and you just spent maybe hours on research, reading the fucking teleprompter, who knows, and then posting your video only for YouTube to tell you, you said the word sexual, we're suppressing your video now. But then you have naked yoga promoted to millions. A chick getting a Brazilian wax, literal vagina is being shown on YouTube. I bet you can find that video. It's still up. Literally not restricted to adults only. Crazy. Isn't it crazy? Hey, bro, get off my fucking back. I don't promote my videos to kids. Neither does anybody else in any of these spaces where we're talking, commentating on politics and shit. Get off everyone's dicks. There's a reason people come here and want to see these videos. Someone say, I fucking guarantee I can find that video. I guarantee you put in Brazilian wax on YouTube right now. Confirm for me, chat, if one of the videos comes up and it's full-blown somebody's vag is on there. That's what's crazy. And it's not restricted to adults only.
Yago King donated $2. I make the joke of calling rape the struggle snuggle LOL.
Yeah. Yeah, I have to say confirmed. Kane just said confirmed. There you go. Confirmed. Somebody else, multiple people can confirm that right now. It's literally up. You can watch these. I'm not even joking.
A damp 911 donated $5. LOL. A message to YouTube. Kickin' others. I'm 42. I can handle words. I don't need someone controlling what I hear. Thanks. I enjoy what you do. It's why I donate so much.
Thank you. And you're very appreciated. Yeah. It's still up. Somebody says it's still up, dude. Still up. Multiple people are confirming it's still up. They've not done a goddamn thing about it.
At Hag North of Viking 6,584 donated $50. The difference between you and Crowder versus the music producers is the fact that the Jewish record labels have teams of lawyers that will make even Google stressed if you get suppressed. They get a pat on the back from major political factions.
Yeah, they're co-opted. It's true. It really is. Someone else has confirmed it's still up. Yep. Someone said, I set out your notifications, and I appreciate you, brother. You're donating big time. Appreciate the 50. And someone set the notifications on. A bunch of people tell me the same shit. Bro, notifications are on. I don't get your videos. I don't get your live stream. Why do you think I push Kick so hard on you guys on YouTube? It's because literally Kick's the only one that works. Yeah, the irony is I fucked up by building my audience on YouTube. I wish I started streaming. I should have started streaming. We would have been much better off. Yeah, I get kicked off YouTube every once in a while. Not kicked off, but banned or suppressed. We currently are, we have a channel violation, active community guideline strike against the channel. Super cool, bro. Super awesome.
History. So you can't prove any of this.
Right. A little more oral history probably wouldn't have such a problem with it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and speaking of the other thing you just said, and this is interesting. You're talking about when you're talking about the idea of women's happiness. There's been 2 comprehensive meta-analysis studies which have been done, piggybacking off each other, which study women all over the world. And regardless of the
I see Ukrainian soldiers getting killed by drones to funk music. Totally. Yeah.
Conditions they're in, doesn't matter what. Regardless of the conditions, no matter how egalitarian, no matter how not egalitarian, no matter if they're in all the positions of power or not, in a comparative analysis, they're always less happy than men. Always.
Always. On top of that, the relationships with the most domestic violence, 2 women. The relationships with the least domestic violence, 2 men. The relationships with the highest divorce rates, 2 women. The relationships with the lowest divorce rates, 2 men. There's so many other stats like that. Constantly.
At Hag North of Viking 6,584 donated $5. I don't remember, but did I lobby for another video last time?
Apart from that long one we watched, not that I know. Can you check your sent emails if you did? Let's double check that. Boomer moment. Let me filter you. Yeah, you did. I have it here. Yes. The black problem. Oh, Jesus. Let's put that up. Jesus. Wow, we'll just get into it. Fuck it. It's on YouTube, right? Should be safe. All right, let's get it. Thank you for reminding me. I didn't even see that. Shit, should we go on? We can't go on Kick because some of you guys don't go on Kick. Like our Viking friend here that donates, he doesn't go on Kick. So, and he made the recommendation, so we have to watch it. I would love to switch over to Kick, but so many of you hard-headed motherfuckers don't want to go over there.
Through mass deportations going back.
Oh, it's an hour long. Holy shit, bro. Okay. It's already 8 in the afternoon here, at night, actually. Yeah, convince him to switch over.
To Hart-Celler Act, achieve 75 to 85% white.
Okay, we got a 2x speed, please. We're saving this one for tomorrow then. Because if it's an hour long, we're going to put it on 1.5x. And we'll watch it there for sure. We'll probably start off with this one. Okay. We're saving it. It's been requested and it's saved. Here's a shorter one. American white men have become the unwanted guests to their own countries, and they don't seem to care. We have a bunch of videos. By the way, guys, please email me more videos. Seriously, it's like a drought.
At Hot Carl 777 donated $2.
Thanks. Kick does suck. I'm just here for you. Appreciate it. You know, Kick pays me to stream too, so that's kind of cool. It's piddly amounts of money, but still. Please send me videos. There's a drought. I miss the old stuff. YouTube will not show me videos of dudes just talking chill shit like this in their rooms, in the cars, walking in parks, whatever. Old stuff, men going their own way, doesn't matter. Women, crazy, marriage, dating, all that stuff, anything, maybe politics. Who cares, dude? Just send it. Make sure it's decent amount of views, because some guys just send me a video with like 100 views. I'm like, I'm not watching that.
You know, I saw Mr.
But this is Dabber Depths,
Tate say something in a video recently where I couldn't help but agree with him.
Tribeman@yahoo.com.
And it's that white men are by far the most accepting of disrespect from their women. White men have essentially become unwanted guests in their own homes, meaning their literal homes or their countries. And the worst part is the same propaganda that has fought to brainwash.
Well, let me play.
At Hag North of Viking 6584 donated $5. If you want me to lobby shorter vids, I can do that.
If you have shorter vids, I'll take those too. Send a couple. Build me out a list, dude. I'll watch a bunch of them, yeah.
Women about...
I just told my woman, I smell food cooking. I don't think I could last another hour. I need food. She says, it will be ready.
Perfect. The way they see you is the same propaganda machine that has gaslit you into not calling it out or sticking up for yourselves. I don't know if these guys are just doing this as a trend. I don't know if they really feel this way, but I'll see videos of white men being disrespected in person or on paper, on video, during an interview. And they don't stand up for themselves at all.
Oh, she's an incredible cook. Yeah, Fallon, Mama taught her well. That's that Balkan upbringing. She was out there with the pigs, cutting chickens up, my woman cut chickens' heads off. Y'all, you think I was playing? It's weird how I manifested that. I don't think I knew her when I made that video, but when I was saying shit about cutting chickens' heads off and shit, she actually did that growing up. She grew up in a village of like fucking 10 people, dude.
And most of them not only don't stand up for themselves, they go along with it, or dare I even say encourage it. I see endless self-deprecating jokes about physical attributes, about corn industry myths, just weird, fake propaganda that you guys go along with to disrespect yourself and push this inferior me nonsense as a joke. You're selling your soul. You're selling your people out to try to get a laugh on social media.
You're just behind, brother. We already talked. We looked through that stuff, yeah.
Yeah. With fake lies and propaganda to paint you as lesser. And you know what I find funny about all this woke nonsense? It's like we have a country now, or any of these Western countries now, full of people who disrespect the men who built those countries, conquered them and built them.
Yes and no. Here, I'll push back on that. They're disrespecting the current crop of men who are mostly weak as fuck. Because from an honest perspective, strong men, if the current crop of white men were actually strong, none of this shit would be allowed that's happening right now. That's the truth. Speaking as a white man, hearing a ton of white men complaining about we was kangs. We really was kangs. We was rulers of the world. No longer, because we can't maintain our own countries. So we was is true for the white man. It will be very soon. You was great. What you is ain't shit if you don't shape up. This is the problem with white men today. So this is just honestly speaking, because if we're going to talk about other communities, we got to talk about our own. So white peoples, we was great. We isn't no mo. Okay? Because we're not taking care of ourselves. We're allowing our countries to be taken over. We allow the elites to do whatever we want. Our institutions are crumbling. We're putting up with bullshit from the liberal class that's bleeding hard and thinks they need to sacrifice all the hard work of our ancestors to appease minorities who never built shit in our countries, didn't bleed for them, all of this stuff. Oh, well. So, yes, partly there is a ton of complaining by white guys. It's fucking annoying. It's like, do something already, bro. Go work out. Go fucking learn how to fight. Stop complaining. You're seeing white men get their ass beat in the street. Go fucking learn how to fight then. You're watching your woman get smacked across the face by some dude chimping out. Okay, well, do you know how to fight? Do you have a firearm on you to defend yourself? Okay, then, bro, you're a victim then. So you're eating hot Cheetos in your fucking chair, gooning out of your mind playing Call of Duty. But if some dude mentally deranged on the streets steps up to you, you're going to cower like a bitch and do nothing. Okay? So yeah, the current crop of white men are fucking weak. It's true. You will literally do nothing.
At Hag North Viking 6,584 donated $5. Email sent along with a brown envelope full of cash that I happened to misplace.
Hey, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, it's just pathetic, bro. It's demoralizing watching what white men are becoming. The butt of all the jokes, constantly being pinned and like the blame being pinned on them for nothing they didn't do. You can't even speak up. Your women run your fucking shit. You can't tell women nothing. Speaking about what white women are doing, gotta be quiet. You gotta decenter yourself from what minority space and all this shit. Oh my God, dude. Like with the state of white men. This is why I loved when I was in the Balkans. I went into the land of the savage whites again. I was like, oh my God. Real men here. Literally watching guys fist fighting in the street because of a disagreement. Right away. The threats of violence right away. Oh my God, my people, they're fucking wild animals here. Wow, society's still functional, but damn, they're not playing. Minorities are not running the streets. They're not acting crazy because they're going to get their shit pushed in immediately. Oh, wow. It's like the videos you see, Russia's nice and clean and like minorities aren't really running shit there because why? Russians are crazy. They'll literally beat you to death. And then the cops will be like, thank you for taking out the trash. Hey, next time, don't spill blood in the street. We got kids walking around here. Take them out back. Shit like that. Where is that in the West? I'm watching dudes cucked out of their fucking mind here, slumped over, simped out, empty, hollow shells of themselves. You can't even Celebrate. Imagine this, the greatness of your ancestors because they did a little bad stuff. And you need to feel bad for that stuff now. The fuck? What? What have you built? What have your people built? I'm allowed to look at Rome. I can look at Greece. I can look at XYZ, wherever you come from, and be proud of the shit that was built. The monuments that they created for us to remember them by. You don't get to tear down their statues. Who the fuck even are you, bro? Some of you eat mud cookies. Like, that's real. So it's like somebody built the space station, sent fucking people to space. You built and ate mud cookies. Fuck off for a second here. All right? I'm just saying, real recognize real. Where there's greatness, recognize it. To be told that you can't have any pride in where you come from, your people, their accomplishments, because it makes everybody else feel less than, not my problem. Go accomplish some shit. I'm not about to lower myself so you can feel better about yourself. No, bro, I'm going to go look at all the incredible monuments, the historical greatness of my people. Go look at the Colosseum in Rome and see shit that was built thousands of years ago persists today. You don't have that? Not my fucking problem. Deal with it. Go elevate your people. Build great monuments of your people and their accomplishments. I'm not going to be made to feel less than because you are insecure. That's the shit people are getting tired of.
A dank 911 donated $5. Unfortunately, I didn't know any better and did the same thing until about 8 years ago. I lost my longest female friend because I hit back at her. I told her to never disrespect me like that again. Hit her with accountability. She couldn't handle it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, stop apologizing for who you are, bro. It's the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard. I apologize for being white. Shut up, stupid. Shut the fuck up.
We have all these people that have so much to say, so much to condemn, ungratefully, while they exist.
Yeah, there's nothing more pathetic. That reminds me. The liberals, you ever seen those liberals, always women for some reason, the soyest of the soys, the beta bobs, like where the fuck do they find these people? There's videos I remember on Twitter that were going viral of these white people kissing black people's feet to apologize for slavery. You guys remember that? I'm not crazy. That was happening. A bunch of liberals were like kissing boots of blacks just for slavery. What the fuck? I couldn't believe when I was seeing it. I was like, holy shit, these people are mentally ill. Imagine apologizing for some shit that happened like 500 years ago. Hey, bro, this one time your tribe back in like 600 AD, they genocided mine and we were displaced over here. And I'm going to need reparations for that. Oh, yeah, for real?
At Hagnartha Viking 6584 donated $5. Don't forget our ethnic elites whose duty is to the tribe and people sold us out to another ethnic tribe until very recently, didn't have a homeland.
Uh-huh. True shit, huh? It looked fresh is saying the white man is so evil, but everybody wants to migrate to his country. And the people watching this video don't know you're black saying that. They really don't. They don't have any idea. The fucking irony, bro. The irony of that. Oh my Lord.
In the most luxurious, free, safe countries built by those very men that they're trying to disrespect now and lie about and rewrite history about, painting a picture that is completely fake.
Right.
It's something that I just will never be silent about. And it makes me sick seeing that every other white man refuses to speak up on it. They actually believe in the bullshit and the propaganda. They go along with it. They promote it. They spread lies about who really built this country. They go along with goofy lies about athleticism and sports and physicality and strength.
It's not a goofy lie. Hey, be a race realist. Blacks are very good at sports. They're very athletic. They're genetically inclined. So we're looking at the stuff. Blacks naturally have a better motor skill function, like built into them. Actually can be measured in the brain. They have a stronger, motor cortex with like more connections. That's a fact. You can look at this. You can look it up. We've already found that out. No, bro. Start being a race realist. We're different. It's okay. It's natural. God made us that way. Unique. We're like a snowflake. We're all different, both individually, but as a group. Yeah. They're better at us than some things. That's why I'm not a white supremacist. Blacks are better at whites in certain things, and whites are better than blacks at certain things, and Asians are better than both of us at certain things, and we're better than Asians at certain things because we're different. No one's the same. We're unique. If we can accept this, we can move on and heal. But pretending we can't say this shit out loud is where we run into issues. The liberal mentality is that we're supposed to all be the same and that there's no difference and it's all a construct. That's a lie. It is a lie. So.
Performance in the bedroom. Like when in history.
Maybe they are, bro. And who cares? What if they are? Let's give them that. What if they are? Let's just say on average, black guys are more well endowed and they're better performers in bed because they have higher testosterone on average, lower body fat, probably can maintain erections for longer on average because of that. The average white guy today is probably too fat, too much estrogen, doesn't have enough testosterone in his body, can't have those strong erections. That's like physically a known thing. If you have too much body fat, you have higher estrogen, weaker erections. Just saying. Grant them that. What's wrong with admitting that? What if that is true? Is it so bad? Stereotypes exist for a reason. Now, if that's the case, is there a difference mentally? On average, of course, there's some guys with porn star dicks. Of course, there's guys that could stay rock hard for days, bro. Gifted. Cool story. But is there a difference mentally? If there is one physically? The only question I propose to you. That's all.
A damp 911 donated $5. My response when someone talks slavery to me. I'm Greek. Greeks we're taken as slaves for 700 years. We don't still use that to be victims. Said people get very upset when I say that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's interesting because not all white people were colonial, right? Or imperial in nature. So it's like, what do you tell an Eastern European that was actually forced under imperial rule? Like, what do you tell the Balkans? What do you tell them that lived under the Ottoman Empire? What do you tell those white people? Are they privileged for being enslaved by the Ottomans? What you see, so it doesn't apply to whites as a whole. It applies to Western whites. Yeah.
Have white men ever been considered lesser than anyone else in any of those areas? Not even a little bit.
I would say this is a little bit of cope from him. But hey, I'm a race realist, so just saying. I don't mind. I don't give a fuck. I don't have a tiny dick. Perform fine, so I'm not insecure about it. Are black guys on average probably better in bed and more well endowed? Probably, bro. Stereotypes persist for a fucking reason. I don't know. Ask women. I don't have a problem, so I don't give a fuck about it. But if you're a white guy with a small dick, you're probably super insecure about the fact that the average black dude is probably outgunning you by a long shot. Just saying. Nola Rex. Thanks, brother. Mental equals environment and upbringing. I wish that were true, but genetics are powerful as fuck.
Not even a little bit. We're talking about the men that conquered the world and produced the greatest countries on earth that are now being destroyed as they look and become less like those men who built those countries. We've got American white women who stand on their soapbox and scream about white privilege. They insult the white men who literally, to this day, work tirelessly to carry most people's dead weight. who are actually painting the picture of those men as bad guys. You've got women, white women, who call.
Yeah, I like some of his videos, and I'm not trying to say anything, negative about him, but these kinds of videos, I don't like the victim bullshit, bro. I don't know. There's something about the defeated. It sounds defeated. Like, white men can't talk. No, yeah, duh. We know that already. Tribe up and train. White guy gets assaulted on the bus. Yeah, because he's a skinny fuck. Like, learn to fight. Put on some gloves. Box. Do something. Jiu-jitsu. Fuck sakes, bro. You got money. You're white. Hopefully. Go to a gym. How cucked out of your mind could you possibly be?
At Hag North of Viking 6,584 donated $5. Yeah, but those same men sold us out.
It's interesting about that historically. Yeah. Well, there's a lot to get into that, but still, a system could be subverted if it serves a high trust society that are extremely orderly and look at each other in a different light than said outside class looks at them. But regardless, I don't know. If I see a white guy being a victim, that's your fault. You live in a dangerous society. You live in dangerous times. The rule of law doesn't apply equally anymore. Criminals are being let out and they have 60 arrests, 30 arrests, how many arrests it has. Mentally ill people exist on the streets. We have homeless people everywhere, drug addicts everywhere. You see it in the news all the time. If you choose to ignore that you live in a society that's more dangerous than it's ever been, and you don't step into a gym and learn how to fight, if you don't know how to throw a punch, if you don't know how to shoot a gun, you don't know how to defend yourself, you don't know a lot of shit, you can't protect your family, you're a fucking liability. Not just to yourself, you're a failure to your family. You're a failure to your fucking bloodline. You're a failure to everyone. Imagine something were to happen, bro. You can't throw a punch. You don't know how to hit something. Because what? You think the cops are going to come save you? I'm going to call the police. What are you, a fucking Karen? I'm going to call the cops. If you assault me, I'm calling the cops, bro. Bro, I'm calling the cops. Handle that shit. Within 30 seconds, you should be able to choke a motherfucker out. Put him in a lock or something. Break his joints. Do whatever you need to do. No one's saying you got to be professional, but at least be able to handle yourself.
At Hag North of Viking 6,584 donated $5. They tried to subvert the Roman elites, and what did the Romans do? No, I will not let our ethnic elites off the hook.
Yeah, well, that's what happens when you let more than the select few who earned it vote.
White men privileged, they paint the picture of history being that way when those white women benefited more than anybody from the hard work, the sacrifice, the discipline of those white men that conquered the world and built such great countries. And these women have the nerve to try to...
Yeah, no one's saying put yourself in stupid situations. I get it. Just don't put yourself in stupid situations. Of course. Don't go looking for trouble. Of course. That's not what we're saying. But sometimes you're in public, my friend, and your luck is called. It's your card, and today's the day. You're out in a gas station getting gas and some snacks. You're out walking downtown with your woman trying to go to one of the bars. You're hopping. Something happens. Are you ready? I'm just saying. Yep, sometimes in life the situation finds you. Sucks that it is what it is. But we were raised by hard men because they knew how unfair life could be. You don't get to be soft in the world today. Sorry. That high trust shit has disappeared. Whether your community is getting invaded by migrants or you have a crime problem or a drug problem or whatever, dude, it's your duty as a man to be able to be capable to defend yourself. It is what it. If you don't have natural aggression in you because you were raised in a soft household with soft parents, you go to the gym and build it in yourself. The boys in those MMA classes will teach that. They will get you competent. You will gain confidence in handling yourself. You might never need it, but be prepared. You might not never need it. Go to the gun range, learn how to shoot, learn how to draw that weapon quickly, point it and fire, and be confident it's going to hit. It doesn't take much. You can go to a gun store, buy some weapons, handle business at the gun range, train. There's a reason the founders of this country fought very hard for the Second Amendment. Just saying. It'd be stupid for you to call yourself an American. For those that are watching that are Americans, it's stupid for you to say you're an American. You never picked up a firearm and fired it. You don't even own a firearm. How stupid is that?
Separate themselves from their own race to be liked by the masses with the woke nonsense. I'm going to be a part of the victim group too. I'm not on their team. Yeah, they're the bad guy. I'm with you guys.
Remember, my woman's excited. She grew up in, the Balkans in Croatia. And so she lived through the war and all that shit. They got guns over there still, despite it being Europe. And she loves shooting guns. She can't wait to shoot some fully automatic shit. And some big boy weapons. I can't wait. They got that normal shit up in Europe, but I can't wait to get her firing some of those monsters so you can feel the power. Get that shoulder a little, get some ice on that shoulder. Damn, I had a kick on it. Fun, exhilarating.
Become more and more popular to push this woke leftist garbage. I've always laughed at that during all of the whatever the woke flavor of the week outrage is, whether it's BLM or whatever. Take your pick. I watch these white women separate themselves from their own race to try to be liked by the masses who are going along with this woke garbage. I always thought it was hilarious.
My wife's a fan of the Austrian Empire, dude. Yeah. My wife likes old world Europe. She's a big fan. She says things were better back in the day.
We've sat here and we've let these schools.
She likes Austrian oaks. She says those Austrians are interesting people.
Rewrite history, teaching your children nothing but lies. We've got people going around saying that white people have no culture.
Then again, she's blonde with green eyes, so.
A damp 911 donated $5. Coming from a former fat guy, I've learned the more fit you are, the less you need to prove your need to fight. I carry almost every day. I usually forget about my pistol, mainly because I've used my weapon before and prefer not to.
True, look, I understand. Yeah, you can look physically imposing, and that deters most people from trying stupid shit with you on the streets. But dude, every once in a while, you get somebody that just doesn't give a fuck and wants to throw it all away. I don't advise engaging with those people that got nothing to lose because you got something to lose, right? Everybody's got something to lose. There's these people that just walk the streets with nothing to lose. If you are found to be in a situation like that, she does not like Austrian economics. It depends on what kind of Austrian economics. The kind that gives people the central bank power? Yeah, she likes those. If you find yourself in that situation, then be capable enough to handle yourself and end it without being hurt. The last thing you want to do is find yourself in an online video of people recording your head getting curb stomped and your brain splattering by some fucking kicks of some wild animal who shouldn't be let out in the street. That's all. Hey, how much would it suck to watch a video of yourself and then after you get knocked out and your skull cracked on the pavement, they just knock your woman out too. They fucking pistol whip your woman or something, completely slap her up, knock her the fuck out. You want to be that guy? Just saying.
Your entire world is white culture. Your entire existence is white culture. All of it. Everything.
Biddies.
Like, to say that line is like a Twilight Zone episode level of crazy. And the fact that we've got young women out here that say this.
She's not a fan of usury, we'll say that.
And preach this. This is an upside down world that we're living in. And white men sit here and allow it. They not only allow it, they go along with it. They push the propaganda themselves. They make self-deprecating jokes themselves. They encourage disrespect. They try to paint the picture of, I'm lesser than.
Yeah, who cares though? They're dying. Look, liberals aren't having kids. They're dying. Within a few generations, Mother Nature irons out that little kink in the blood, in the gene pool. They're dying, dude. So who cares what deranged leftist liberal white women are saying? Focus on finding your right-wing white queen then. Just saying. If this is really where we're going. Another, a weird contradiction on this shit too? You guys notice these white supremacist dudes that are LARPing white supremacy online? Somehow are always, they got like a Asian or a Hispanic girlfriend. You'll never see a white supremacist with a white woman. Isn't that fucking weird? And I noticed that. That's so weird. I was following these account, not even following them, but when you watch one of these like racist videos on X, they constantly show you shit. The algorithm is so fucking sensitive, like TikTok. So then at one point, like months ago, my algorithm was just showing me a bunch of fucking racist shit constantly. Thank God X, they fixed that shit. Now you can select tabs. I can get my Iran war news without having to see slop. Never ask a racist their girlfriend. It's such a funny stereotype. It's true, dude. These white supremacist dudes are banging not white women. Explain that to me.
At Hagnartha Viking 6584 donated $5. Dude, they don't care. They will sleep with the conquering tribe anyway. Ignore them and build something actually useful.
Exactly. And it goes in the reverse. Like AOC, Kamala Harris. Who else? Who else is up there? They're all dating white guys. All married to white men. It's so weird. The people that say the most like anti-white stuff and white men are bad this, like women, they're dating white people. They're married to them. Why is this happening? How does this happen? Who else is it? Is Omar? Ilhan Omar. Is Ilhan Omar married to a white man? We have to check this. Hold on. Current marriage. Oh my God. She's married to a guy called Tim Minette. Bro, you can't. No way. Tim, what you looking like? Oh my God, bro. Oh, every time. Fuck off, Google. Isn't this fucking great? Isn't it? See how it works?
At Helicadiscs 1371 donated $5. Hi Bo. Tell Redheart. VE your show Redheart as an exclamation mark. I finally caught it live red double exclamation mark. Keep up the great work, darlin. Face blowing a kiss.
Thank you, dear. Appreciate you for the 2. Glad you like the show.
At Hagnartha Viking 6584 donated $5. It's the SPLC money getting them crazy for alien honey.
Let's see AOC's hut. Look at this. Isn't it crazy? Isn't it though? Hey, how crazy is that? Who else did I say? Explain how this, look at this. Explain this to me. These are these so like anti-white men people pushing, they're married to them. Isn't that fucking weird? Who else? Don Lemon. Always saying some anti-white shit. Got a whole husband, white.
Bruh.
What's going on here? So the white supremacists got non-white honeys. The anti-white male figures got nothing but white husbands. What is that? What that is? What is that? It's happening on both sides. This propaganda. What is this? Is this PSYOP? Are we being propagandized right here? Who else? There's more. I can't think of any. These were the ones that just came into my mind right now. Isn't that fucking weird? So I noticed this pattern. So I'm trying to get hype for all these, like, you know, they got these cool Hitler edits and stuff, and like, you know, they're making white people trying to get all like, oh, whoa, look at what it looked like when it was clean. Look at back in the day. Look at all this, like, they got like Greek and Roman history to those like funk edits and shit, showing the Colosseums and helmets and swords and like, you know, conquering shit. And oh my God, it looks tight, you know. And then the dude's account, he's got like a black queen. What? 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 What the fuck is happening?
I don't know if it's just the propaganda getting through to them, or they're just that weak and they're that disgusting where they want to push that garbage.
At Hagnartha Viking 6584 donated $5. How much you want to bet they whisper see next super chat?
Yeah. It's an LMAO, my brother. Thank you.
I'm going to tell you guys a quick story about...
Yeah, Agartha, Hyperborea edits, yeah.
How lovely...
Colonize.
Yeah. At Hagnartha Viking 6584 donated $2. Colonize me.
Colonize him. She got colonized, bro. He gets colonized in the sheets. What is it? Colonized in the sheets? Racist in the streets? Some shit like that. And I got a funny saying for that.
A state like mine operates when it comes to race. We'll use Kufid as an example.
Kufid. You see how we talk? Kufid, bro. This is the shit I told you in the last video. You mean COVID? You mean the thing that got my channel shut down? COVID? For literally reporting COVID. Kufid. Kufid. The shot. The injection. The thing. You can't talk. Again with this shit. Do you see what I mean? How careful people have to be. Kufid. The shot. The jab. The poke. My whole channel got destroyed for talking about LGBTQ people and then reporting that the Pfizer CEO got denied boarding a plane because he didn't take his own fucking product. The coof.
Bruh.
Jesus.
You guys probably remember Kufid when it came around. The big cough that shut the entire world down. Bruh. I was dating a girl at the time who worked at some apartment leasing company where she would go to like these big complexes, and she was in like the leasing office. And I remember in the state of Washington, there was a bunch of programs that
I feel like I'm going crazy sometimes. Am I the only one that's just speaking to people like they're not fucking retarded children? Am I literally the only one on this platform? I don't know. Am I? Who else? Am I the only one who's talking to you like you're an actual human being and an adult? Do I grant you, am I the only one granting you that kind of respect?
At Hagnartha Viking 6584 donated $2. Yeah, the corpus made us speak in 1984 Newspeak.
Please go follow on Kick. I've got to post the Kick link now because honestly, the way we talk, it's like, it's a matter of time. Seriously, they don't want you. This is why I push Kick so much. Please go on there. Just even if you're not watching, go just sign up, bro. It's instant authentication. Authentication. Yes, my brain. Instant authentication. I need food. It's over for me. My brain's shutting on. You could authenticate instantly by signing in with your email. Fuck me, dude. I've been doing so much Claude code. I'm saying OAuth. OAuth, auth servers. Testing the Stripe webhooks. Fucking hell, I can't speak anymore. I'm starting Starting to sound like a bot. I smell the food. It's ready. We have to finish this. Let me spam the chat again. You can OAth on YouTube. I mean on Kick. Thanks, Chain Reaction.
Were assisting people that couldn't pay their rent because they were laid off and couldn't work and all the whole spiel that came along with that big joke of a time. And this girl was frustrated because in the big complex where she worked, that apartment complex,
Bro, I didn't take my Celank and C-Max. That's the problem. I'm underperforming right now. I'm not on my fucking peptides.
they had tenants of all kinds, all races, religions, walks of life. And most of them always paid their rent on time, always paid their bills on time. And there was a handful of people that were terrible tenants, never paid their bills, never followed the rules, parked wherever they wanted, left garbage laying around, destroyed property, just were reckless, careless, terrible, terrible tenants, terrible neighbors. And when COVID came around, and the state of Washington stepped up to be the hero and save people, to help them pay their rent because they could no longer pay it. Those programs
See you, brother.
were based on race in her complex. I don't know if that came from the state of Washington. I don't know if it came from the management there. I don't know. But she was furious. Might I add, this girl was black and white mix. She was a mixed girl. And she was furious that pretty much all of the people, sorry if this is triggering, but this is just the fact of the situation, all of the people in this big complex where she worked that hadn't paid their rent for months happened to be black.
Happened to be.
They didn't pay their rent long before COVID came around. They were never paying their rent. They were always late.
I know this is going to offend some people.
And when all this funding came in to save these people, they allocated it based on race. So you had people that actually...
The preamble, you know, we got to warm people up. And I'm just saying, I know this is going to offend some people. Black! They were black! What the fuck, dude? Just get on with it.
Were good tenants and worked hard and paid their rent on time every month that truly did fall on hard times. For the first time ever, they couldn't pay their rent. And those people didn't get any help because it annihilated the budget, paying the year of back rent to these other people based on their race, who weren't paying anyway. They never paid. And this other person was 7 months behind because they never paid. Yet all of their debt got wiped away. They got all the assistance. While these people that...
Yeah, and you commit a crime, you're going to jail. If you're black in these Democrat cities, you're going to get off with 60 fucking arrests. And bro, we know this. It's evident. You need another Irina getting stabbed in the neck? We know. We know this country's going to shit. We know there are double standards. We know that people get let off doing certain things. We know that already. So, like, are you training to fight? So, like, are you getting your money up or are you gooning off? Because you may need to move out of your location. It might become too dangerous. You might need to be ready for a situation you didn't sign up for. Are you? Just saying. If you're not willing to fight and defend yourself, do you at least have the money to move away? Can you move to safety? If you can't move to safety, you better be able to throw some hands.
Worked hard every day and had discipline and sacrifice.
Right? You want a waifu, but you can't protect her. What's happening? What's happening, big dog? Come on, talk to me. You can't be watching Gladiator. You can't watch Achilles in Troy just fucking people up with, like, you know, that opening scene. The opening scene there where Achilles does that, like, on a Boregius. What's that guy's name? Boregius? He had some fucking name like that. Boquifus. What was that guy's name? The dude, you know, he has that sequence where he's like running up super calm, and then he jabs the fucking sword into his net and trap. What's his name? I forgot what that guy's name was. Bo something. Boraichu or something. I can't remember what his name was.
At Hagnar the Viking 6,584 donated $5. Not even that no one is fighting to play ethnic and ethical DAs. They let rivals buy our entire justice system and complain.
Yeah. Boagrius. That's what his name was. Boagrius. Yes. Dude, the opening scene. Achilles is like it's so calm too. He's like barely even breathing. He's like, no, and that guy's like making all the weirdest noises and shit. He's doing the goy thing, right? He's like slapping his fucking shield and shit and his sword on his chest. And Achilles is just like, imagine a king who fights his own wars. Wouldn't that be a sight? And then he just steps up, dodges a spear, and then just shanked him right in his neck. There goes Boagrius. Ass is cooked. War's over. You're watching movies like that. I am deceived. What the fuck was the other one? Decimus Maximus or something. What was that movie? I can't even remember. Somewhere I gotta recite that quote. What was that? The Gladiator quote. I am Maximus. Where is that? Aha. Look at this quote, dude. Godly. My name is Maximus Decimus Meridius, commander of the armies of the north, general of the Felix legions, loyal servant to the true emperor, Marcus Aurelius, father to a murdered son, husband to a murdered wife, and I will have my vengeance in this life or the next. Cuts to you, eating goy slop, can't throw a punch, complaining, all the porn you're watching, you're fat, you have higher estrogen than test. Are you fucking kidding me right now? Do you feel nothing coursing through your veins seeing what your people were capable of? The kind of cool shit? Okay, bro. Wow.
Truly did need help, they got punished.
I can't wait for my AI doll to service me. These women are crazy. Father to a... Did you just hear the quote? General of the Felix legions, I serve the only true emperor, Marcus Aurelius. I can't wait for my fucking AI girlfriend, my lines of code with a Glock 9000. I'm giving you the look he's giving. This the look. That's the look. You see the look he's giving you? And that's why history won't remember your name. That's the look you're getting. My people are so great. We built the world. I can't wait for my sex doll. Brother.
Bruh.
Brother, can we please?
They got, I don't know what to tell you. Nothing we can do. Nothing in the budget for you. Now you tell me how one of those people can live that experience and not walk away from it with a bad taste in their mouth.
Brother.
And that's the absurdity of the world that we live today. And me saying that?
A damp 911 donated $5. I always thought it unfortunate we need to get these great quotes or actions from movies. Remember when things like this, quotes like this were in real life? Looking up to someone that's real?
Exactly, dude. How far we fallen.
At Hat and Clogs 4,334 donated $5. Vox Day talk about core being parasites that only job was to suck up as much wealth as possible. Also transnational core don't care about nations.
Hey, stop noticing.
Me saying that should make everybody furious, but you know what? None of you will be furious. None of you will say or do anything about it. Either you're afraid to speak up because you don't want to lose friends who don't like you anyway, quite frankly. All of your woke leftist friends who buy into this garbage propaganda, they don't like you. They're not your friend. Let me be clear on
Said vaping is just practicing for sucking robot D. A girl said that. That's a woman. A woman said
you
that.
guys
in the
go
chat.
along with this because you're afraid to disrupt.
Is he crashing out here at this part?
At Hat and Clogs 4,334 donated $2. Can I get a give me that chicken nugget chit?
Oh, God. The way some guys talk. The way I hear white boys talk today. White boys, because it's hard to even say white men. What I'm seeing, the nuggies, chicken nuggies. Want to shake some ancestral something in you. Can we awaken it? Brother. Brothers, please. For the love of Rome, for all things mighty, Marcus Aurelius, Caesar, the great leader, Caesar. Nope. Hey, so the latest Claude update, they're gonna power my Glock 9000. I just ordered. She comes with the latest upgrades. Oh, bro. What are you guys doing?
The hornet nest.
I give up. I hate the giver uppers, dude. There's the giver uppers too. I can't anymore. I don't want to try these women. I'm better alone. Oh my God, bro.
And I'm tired of it. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of watching.
Me too, dog. I'm sick.
My country disrespect me and men like me who have sacrificed everything to build this country and all of these.
Right, that's crazy. We used to be feared. Hey, isn't it crazy? Dude. People used to literally fear white people. You know how crazy that is? Only Russians get this kind of fear still. Like everybody knows, don't fuck with Russians. They're crazy. That's how white people used to be looked at in general. You know what they say now? You know, like blacks and Hispanics and everybody says, and they're right to say this. White people are soft as fuck, bro. White men are soft as baby shit. Any black person in the chat, tell me right now, you look at a white guy down the street, you know you could fuck him up 9 times out of 10. You could beat his ass. They look sorry. They're in a sorry state. You don't look at a white man today and you go, oh fuck, dude, better watch out. That motherfucker's built right. Chiseled jaw, abs, all that shit like his predecessors. He's soft as goy shit. Baby shit soft. Can we be honest?
At Hagnarth Viking 6,584 donated $5. We don't even need to go back that far. Those Civil War generals were wearing high tea mustaches and beards while shooting off gangster quotes.
Yeah, actually, yeah, the quotes from the old heads were crazy. Yeah.
Western countries, quite frankly, while we just silently sit by and take the disrespect and the lies and the propaganda, and we refuse to demand respect from people. We refuse to demand respect from the women.
Yeah, but it's real, though. You gotta listen. It's real, though. You have to see. You have to be honest about this shit. It's like you walk down the street. The average brother I see is decently built. Okay, I'm not saying fat people. Fat people are fat of all races, but the average brother is decently built. They're in the gym. They keep it physical. They play sports, and they look decent enough. I don't know what the fuck is happening with the average white man. The only place I've ever seen white guys look like they're war ready, battle ready, like real shit to go down was in the Balkans. My woman noticed this immediately when she came to the States. She's like, what the fuck's going on with the men here? And I was like, what specifically? She's like, look at them. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, I know what you're saying. Yeah, it's just kind of normal here. Like, they're all soft dressing, like kind of feminine looking. They walk like women. They kind of have a feminine demeanor to them. A lot of blacks talk about white men with a very dismissive tone, especially black women. Of course, because they're fucking cucked out of their minds, dude. Seriously. I'm not going to sit here and just, like, we'll watch the Africa video and then being real about what the state of Africa is like, and then can't turn around and talk about the state of white men. Like, nah, we're fine. Nah, bro, don't worry about white guys. We're doing just great. You see that? We're taking our country back. We voted Trump. Watches the next video of a white guy getting his fucking teeth pushed in by some guy because he doesn't know how to fight. He's out of shape. Couldn't defend his woman. Like, just hanging our heads down in shame, just like this collectively as a group of people. Like, oh my God, bro, not another one. Not another victim, bro. Oh my God. Can you stop?
At Maliquili 8,627 donated $5. Maybe a liberal white guy, but in the South, whites are not a joke.
Bro, in the South, whites are even bigger jokes. Yeah, they're fat as fuck, dying of diabetes. Yeah, Earl don't play, but Earl can't walk more than 5 steps. And then there's that video of like that guy, he looking like Earl. You know, can't talk about my women that way. He took 2 steps and nearly collapsed, tripped over himself. Fat Bubba. Come on, man. Have you seen the videos of what we look like in the 70s and shit, in the 60s? What the fuck?
At Hagnarth Viking 6,584 donated $5. What's the single father and female teacher rates in Eastern Europe versus America?
That's actually interesting. I don't know about the female teacher rates, but the single parent home in general is not normal.
We date or try to date. And this is why I've gotten so much heat for going hard on people for promoting hip hop culture. I've gotten so much heat for saying that. I'll die on that hill. Hip hop culture is the epitome of everything that's wrong with this once great nation. Like, that was the beginning of the end when that.
Really, bro? We're gonna blame hip hop culture? Oh my God, bro. Come on, G, do better.
Corny trash started getting pushed.
Your hat is backwards. You literally got a beard that looks like you're from 19th Street. Mexican Mafia or something. Come on, man. What the fuck?
Bruh. And promoted. I don't know how you guys date women who like that cringy, corny music. I don't know how you guys date women who see these guys in that light or in that industry, that culture, with a shred of respect. Like, how can you date women like that, dude? And that has nothing to do with race. That's just behavior. You've got women in Seattle that'll try to talk to you. They have interest in you. And the minute
my woman texts me,
they open their mouth. They say, hey.
Boys, we're close to that time.
Yago King donated $2. Hey, Bo, when you took that DNA kit, did you seal the box with tape or just send it as is? I got myself a 23, and me kit trying to figure out if I should seal the box or not.
Nah, just, you don't need to apply anything extra. Just send it as is. Like that little shit, the little sticker you peel off and just press is enough. No one's taking your spit sample, big dog. Trust me. You're good. They're not going to make a fucking Bill Gates isn't waiting. I'm going to develop some fucking mosquitoes. They're going to get your ass. Nah, you're good. It's just spit.
Y'all, you feel. We don't say y'all in Seattle. Like, I see Asian women in Seattle, in Western Washington, that'll approach me or message me on social media or see me at the gym. They'll try to flirt or show interest.
We need to send him kits of that hemorrhoid eye cream.
And the minute they open their mouth, I think to myself, this person is lost in outer space. I'm not going to date a woman from Seattle who says, y'all, you feel me? That's like something we should all laugh at. That is
I got my hemorrhoid cream ready. Don't worry.
Cringy.
I will be applying it with my homemade, home-cooked meal.
That is probably something that should be considered a mental illness, quite frankly. And I'm done. I'm done with you guys letting these lies in the school system and lies in Hollywood and lies in the music industry, lies in in the way that we gas up people and make fun of other people. Like, you guys go along with it. You refuse to stand up for yourselves. It's everywhere. Look at the news. In my city, in my state where I live, I know immediately what the race of a criminal is based on the way they deliver the news story. If the person is a certain race, they will intentionally steer the story around the race. They won't mention it. And if they are like me, they make it a...
It comes off listen, it does come off just a tad bit of mopey complaining and shit.
Point
just a bit,
to let
dog.
it be known that is the key thing of the story that needs to be in the spotlight.
I already can see I'm going to get so much shit. Look, this video is not going to go over well with the snowflake white men. I can guarantee you that shit, dude. I'm just taking shots from every angle. The blacks hate me for talking about the black community. Certain black, not everybody. Show me some love in the comment section. You know who you are. You're in here. And then I get hates. Wait, listen, we already went in on the Asian countries when I said they were fucking third world shitholes. I got hate there. Okay, I'm about to get, the Passport Bros banned me from Passport Bros. My white brothers, please don't cast me out. Please, I got nowhere left to go. Oh, fuck. Hispanics, they were roasting me because I talked about supporting ICE. I'm homeless, guys. No community wants me. I speak the truth too much. I get on everybody's ass. I tell people, look in the mirror. That just gets you hate, not love. I need to switch it up, man. I need to switch it up. You know what I can do? See, I got invited to the cookout, but it's not a real invitation because I'm going to get jumped because the rest of y'all hate me. So I can't even hang out and eat some chitlins anymore. I'm not welcome. It's over for me. It's over for me. This is what happens when you talk the truth to everyone in every community. You're never accepted. I'm a black sheep.
At Hagnarth Viking 6584 donated $5. I'm done with the lies, smiling face with glasses. Thumbs up. Pays taxes anyway.
Yep. It's lonely being real, boys. It's lonely being real.
I mean, you guys all know about the double standards of reporting with crime and the way people are treated. If someone is assaulted or somebody is or called a name or discriminated against.
I need food, I know. We're running on fumes here. Coffee's left. He's making me depressed again, thinking about how great we once were. Dudes are ready to goon off to the Goombot 9000. It's not looking great, man. My people are on a decline. Europe's in shambles. America's falling apart. What's left of our people? The women have gone crazy. The men have no goddamn. We was colonizers. We was colonizers. Now we is getting colonized. What's happening here with us? We really was. Once upon a time, we was a lot of things. We even cracked the motherfucking atom. We was building world-ending bombs and shit. Planet crackers. Now, we is ballless, dickless. We is chopping our kids' dicks off.
At Hagnarth Viking 6584 donated $5. Can we watch something less depressing before you eat supper?
I can't. She's calling me. I have fresh steak to up my testosterone. I have a blonde with a nice rack. She's based. And I have to watch a depressing video of our people going down the toilet. What's happening? My brothers, please. My brothers, please do better. Where are the videos of my brothers? Where are my brothers winning in life? I don't see W's. We have to cover losses constantly. Losses. Here's how we're holding these L's. Just we're holding L's. It's like, bro, can I turn on a video and watching White Boy Summer commencing, initializing 3, 2, 1 W's, 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 straight W's? Where's that at? We're in a Goyim nightmare right now. We're at an all-time Goy. I'm watching my Goys, my brethren. AI's coming to take all our jobs. My fellow Goyim, refuse to learn about AI. Refuse to code with your boy. Refuse to build an app. I'm watching them order McDonald's to my house on accident, my fellow Goy. McFlurry at midnight. McFlurry at midnight. This is what you're doing to me. French fries dipped in slop, poison, mechanical oil. What have you done to me?
At Hag North of Viking 6,584 donated $2. I can email a 2-minute W if you want.
Give me that, please. We're ending on a 2-minute W. I'm putting up the email right now. Says, I'm coding right now, setting up Olama on my virtual GPU. Thank God we're talking high IQ shit there. Oh, I love to hear that. Coding right now and setting up Olama. Why Olama, though? I know it's free and cheap, but come on, dog. Get a better GPU. Get more memory, please. It's virtual. I forgot. You said it's a virtual, so you're partitioning. I understand. I get it. Times are hard in these days when it comes to compute. I get it. I get it. Give me that compute. Can't afford. We got to partition a piece. I understand. Olama is all we got. Better than nothing.
At Hag North of Viking 6,584 donated $2. Email sent.
Email sent. Here it is. 2-minute dubs. Give me that. Give me that link. No offense to you, Dapper. I like your videos. I'm sad. I went to Europe with my woman. We were in Croatia, in Istria, and I think it was called Pula. I can't remember where. Dude, it wasn't even the largest, but I stepped in a Coliseum, boys. I have the pictures of us in a Coliseum. Do you want to see? Let me see if I could find that shit. Your boy was in a Coliseum. I don't know if I could explain to you what that felt like. Like some ancestral shit. I could imagine my mind. It went to the gladiators battling the fucking lions and shit. The Commodus just yelling. Blood! Oh, could you imagine? I found it. I found it. Let me send that shit. Where is it? Accept. Glorious. Glorious. What is this? Screen pip? Here we go. Glorious. Check your boy out. You don't know what it feels like. There's us. The glorious. Dude, I'm telling you. This was the coolest shit I had experienced while I was there.
A damp 911 donated $5. I'll share a win today. I bought vehicles and equipment from one of those closed farms. Paid $37K, will make around 90 once everything sells.
Oh my lord.
Had to borrow against my Bitcoin for this one.
Nice. Dude, I walked everywhere, in the middle, underneath. Like, I didn't know how they actually constructed these, but all the underneath, like the tunnels underground were crazy. They had a gift shop underground, and you're just walking through the tunnels and like where they held the gladiators or the prisoners or the fucking animals. Oh my God, it was crazy. Let me see. I have a video of this shit too. Let me pull that up. Dude, I just couldn't help but touching shit too. Like, you know how old these stones are and where the fuck they brought them from? Stupendous. Where's this video? There we go. Let me send this. Save to downloads. So cool, dude. Yeah, so I was walking around all over this shit. Check it. Hip. That's crazy. An entire civilization. This is all that remains of an empire. How cool is that, dude? Can you imagine what this was at the height? So crazy to think about. What's left after one of the most prolific empires in European history. Just kind of went away with a whimper over hundreds of years, dude. That's crazy. What'll be left of the civilizations we built today? Now the people that live here, they call themselves Croatians, Slavic people. Before, this was one of in the heartland of the Roman Empire. Roman citizens. Boy, how times can change things. It's a pretty cool perspective to walk around something like this and just see how the fuck could they have possibly built this thousands of years ago, and how the world could have been living ordinary life day to day. Tight, huh? Indeedy. Super cool stuff to see in person. Oh yeah, 2-minute W. Oh, I can't watch this on stream, bro. Hold on 1 second. Just double checking.
Tonight, new video of the heart-stopping moments a gunman walks.
Can't watch it. Can't watch it. We're instantly getting banned for watching that. Can't watch it for obvious reasons. We tried already. Can't. There's a weapon. Bruh. Yeah, God forbid. God forbid.
At Hag North Viking 6584 donated $5. SMH0/10 you're not thumbs down. At a poor gladiator on the ground begging for mercy.
All right, boys. I want to watch that video, but it's an instant ban if we watch that and a gun pops up, so we can't. We've been at this for 3 hours already. I got a steak ready. I got some other stuff ready. So, yeah. Anyways, shout outs to everybody that tunes in every day to my crazy ass fucking shit that just comes out of my mouth. Appreciate you guys for just being a part of the community, man. The donating, the super chatting, the supporting, just showing up, watching, honestly. Everybody in the private community that supports there directly too and hops on the calls. They're always interesting. We went in the deep end, dude. We went swimming in the Mariana Trench last conversation. Just let the boys go at it. Yeah. So shout outs to everybody. Oh, I'll plug merch. I haven't plugged the merch. We'll plug the merch at the beginning and the end, all right? Let me plug the merch real quick. Appreciate everybody that's been getting their shirts, their hats, mugs, and everything else. I have to make these, the stickers too. We got these in stickers. I got to make hoodies, but it's not hoodie season. So, anyways, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in and the supporting as usual. Honestly, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. Means a lot to be able to do this. I don't want to be covered in cement and stucco and all that shit anymore. So hopefully I've been entertaining for you guys yet again. Made your day go by a little faster. Maybe you learned a thing or two, hopefully. At the very least, entertained. Not every day is a learning experience. But, yeah, we do what we can with what we got. And that's life. So, take care, boys. We'll see you tomorrow. Same thing on Sunday. And, why are you guys... Somebody's fighting in the chat saying, I'm going to put you in the grave. Okay. All right. I also have subscribed to your channel due to much serendipity with what I have. All right, great. Take care, everybody. Peace out. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care of yourselves. Go touch some grass. Walk a little bit. It's been 3 hours of sitting. That's like the equivalent of a bajillion cigarettes. All right, boys, signing out.